Every story told came at the stories of love. This ain't just a podcast. It's a warning. Every story told came at the cost of blood, time, or tears. We don't glorify it. We break it down.
I had the other YouTube thing open. We're live, baby.
Finally. Are you done?
We're live, I said.
Well, now you gotta wait for me until I get ready.
You hear that, guys? You have to wait for her.
No, you do.
Oh.
I told you at 9:45. It is 10:22, you guys. See, I tried to come on earlier and try to get him motivated to get up in there, and he just, man, takes his time. I swear. I can't.
All she does is talk. What's going on, guys?
Nobody's even near.
I know.
They're not gonna miss anything though. First beginning.
No.
Just cheering us.
Just her. It's just her. Burqueño! What's up, fool?
Oh, hello.
He said, what's up, guys? How you doing, brother?
Not much. We're just hanging out.
Yep.
Hanging out. Just chilling.
How's everybody doing? Hopefully everybody is good today. Just waiting for people to come in.
Oh, show the cup. Courtesy of Aurora.
RP?
Ropey.
RP. Ropey? Same thing.
God.
Ropey. She hooked us up with these cups a while back. Just haven't shown them on here yet. Pretty cool. So for the non-profit cups, name my money. She sent a bunch of stuff. She sent the banner too, so we could use it when we went to the school.
When we go somewhere, we can hang up our banner. Let them know that we're here.
Some shirts.
Okay, we are here. Some shirts, exactly.
Eric Lerma, ¿qué huele? He said, what's up, Cricket and Javon? How's it going? It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah, we keep we've been on here a few times.
I think it's been a minute for him.
Yeah, but I think we talked to you just a few ago. No, not too long. But hopefully you're doing well, brother. Living the dream out there, como dicen. Jojo AZ, ¿qué huele? He says, saludos, Grillo. What's up, brother? Tony G, what's up? He says, what's up, Craigs? So I put a little commercial thing on the TikTok, right? The one I told you about.
Mm-hmm.
And he, Tony G commented and put, let me see if I can find it real quick. Watch out. He said, what was it that you said, bro? See if I can find it. I don't know how to find like stuff like here, I'm trying to remember what you said, and at the same time, Jojo said Ilahovi.
Jovi?
Jovi.
Oh.
Jovi.
Right.
I was trying to say it in Spanish, but it's not Spanish. It's French.
My name is French, yes. I've been called Jovi a couple times when I was younger.
Jovi?
Yeah.
Have you really?
My mom, sometimes.
Oh, would she? I can't find the one that where Tony. Oh yeah, here it is. He said, Cricket, put some happy face mosquito stickers repellents for you. And then I said something, but we need to invent a sticker for her hand with a happy face that says, do not forget to breathe, Jovan. Because we were talking about the mosquito thing. I go, man, I get eaten up. I go, but Jovan really gets eaten up by mosquitoes. And then that's what he said. We need to invent a sticker for her hand with a happy face that says, do not forget to breathe.
Oh, wow. Take my illnesses seriously, you guys. And I think after that live, when we went to bed that night, I woke up because I was choking.
She does it every night, though. It's not surprising.
No, that night it really woke me up. Like I sat up, like I got out of bed and I was like, oh my God. Yeah. Like I was choking. I could have died. Like luckily my brain held like wake up, like you're fighting. You know what I mean? Imagine if it didn't. It just
Well, I think that's what your brain's supposed to do. You know?
yeah, but some people have like those people that are like awake but they're paralyzed. And they just can't move. Imagine if I had that.
Yeah, I don't know if that's
No,
a thing.
seriously though, I think I'm gonna really look into it. Like all jokes aside, everybody is telling me like, you should look into it because even when I'm not asleep, I'm just awake, walking around, and whoop, forget to breathe.
She'll start coughing, and then I'll look at her, and she'll be like, "I forgot to breathe."
Well, I don't say it like that.
It's kind of like that.
Instead of "Are you okay?" Oh my god, no, it's ha ha. He's like laughing at me, but I think maybe in a few months or so, I am gonna, shop around for a doctor or something, and just hopefully they don't think I'm crazy or something.
Daniel Pina said, "Sup, bro? You caught me up late tonight. Usually in bed by now. Body be hurting after work all week." Yeah. Oh, today's Thursday too. Tomorrow, Friday. Take the weekend off. Eric Lerman said, "Yeah, it wasn't too long ago. And yeah, I'm doing good on my way home. Just got back from meeting up with my brother who's out on the streets over on the west side trying to get him help. Yeah, I hear you.
It's getting tough out here, you guys.
It's real bad.
It's
I was actually thinking of so I have a friend too that's on the Calles, bro, and on the west side también. And he'll call me sometimes. I'll go pick him up, give him a ride or something, and he lives on the west side too. I don't want to say where here, obviously, but like I know where I can go find him. He basically in like a canal area, but um it's a trip, man. There's it's so bad. But what's crazy is when like I talk to him and stuff, it's almost like it's by choice. You know what I'm saying? He's doing his thing and he don't want to stop, kind of. He has a jefita, has a jefe. They take care of his kid and kind of like, they're there, but I think they're there if he really wanted help and to get past all that. But I think they're kind of done with the in and out stuff. You know what I mean? Like they don't want it to be like it's been. They want them to seriously be like, "Orale, I'm done." And then I'm pretty sure they would help him, but he don't want to, bro. Like I'll go pick him up, and we'll talk about this stuff. And I try not to like be too judgmental or nothing. And so he kind of jokes about it a little bit. We don't really. It's almost like we don't talk about it. It's weird. I'll take him to Circle K. We'll get like an icy or something, um, stuff like that. You know what I mean? He'll call me if he's somewhere kind of far and needs to get back somewhere, and he'll be like, "Hey, bro, you think you can come and give me a ride?" And he has a bike. He's my age, but I mean, he's a homie since we were kids in the neighborhood, and he out there riding bikes and shit in the heat and all that. I just couldn't imagine it, but I know that it's because he's stuck in his addiction, and he just wants to do him. You know what I mean? It's and you see them gente out there, the people that are out there living like that. And I've thought about like what would be a way that with what I do I could help in some way. Um but man, brother, I'm doing what I'm still trying to build the nonprofit for these kids, like to do something like that, because that's what I want to do. And I can't, I just don't know what I don't want to try to start something else and then in the end do nothing. You know what I mean? If I put too many eggs in too many baskets, I might end up not doing anything. And I don't want to risk that. So that's why I kind of just step back and like, damn, just um but I've thought of going out there and like trying to interview these vatos, or women, everybody that's out there, kind of get their stories and see if I can get them a little following. Because I've seen that in other channels. There's other channels that actually do that. Then they'll have a little following, and people will send them goodie baskets and shit. But then I'm like, but is that kind of exploiting that, also, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's tough, brother, but I hear what you're saying, Eric. It's tagacho, bro. And then especially if that's your brother, like that's even it's I'm sure
And
it's
it's
tough.
hard because sometimes you have to cut off family.
Yeah.
That's what I've been doing these past couple months.
Yeah.
Some friends, some family, just cutting them off.
I've always heard since I was a kid that tough love stuff.
It is.
And I
It's
think
tough
sometimes
love.
you have to.
Sometimes you have to. And then because I think that one, it's like you care about them, but then they don't want to change. And then it comes out to like somewhat like disrespect. Like, hey, I'm trying to help you, but you're not trying to help yourself. And now I'm getting frustrated
Yeah.
and I can't want it for you. So you got to pull up your pants and do it yourself. But it's tough when it's adults. That's why it's like me, I'm on the other side of it. Like I don't mind helping them with some meals once in a while or clothes or whatever or advice and all that stuff. But my energy is more towards kids because they're just so innocent and they just don't know any better. When you have, a 50-year-old man that is having kids, spreading himself around, has kids and won't change for his kids, are you going to change for you?
Yeah.
He needs to change for himself. He needs to change for that first. He's not going to listen to you. So that's where I'm kind of like, I just keep them like over there. I feel sorry for them. I do. I hate that they're out there in the heat, but they don't hate that they're out in the heat.
Yeah.
So then why should I?
And here's the thing with my friend is he's not asking for help. Honestly, he's not. He's not like he's not a burden to me. He's not. I don't know what he is to his family. I can't speak on that. I don't know their history like that. But I know me and this vato have been friends since we were like 9 years old. I know all of that. I know who he is as a person now, growing, everything. He never judged me on what I've done in my life as far as the good and the bad. Um, and we're just friends. And in the end, he doesn't sit there and, hey, can I borrow $100 or $10? Not even can I borrow $1 and then not pay me back. None of that stuff. He's just there. Sometimes I'll hand him $5, $10, like, here, brother, you know what I mean? Call me if you need me. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, and that's it. Like, but I wish I could do more. And like I said, I think that Phoenix really needs something, bro. This is my friend, so it's kind of personal, but on a grander scale, when you look out there and you see so many corners now, it's not just the bad part of town, like it's everywhere. It's like, damn, what could we do? How could we do it? And is it worth it? And sometimes it may be not because the government put that hotel out there.
No, I say it's not.
Yeah.
They have to want to change. If pooping in a bush and being out in the heat and not having anything to eat because they choose to get high rather than just do that, because not no normal person is just going to be out there unless you're on something. They have to want to do it themselves. Nobody can make them do it. They're a grown adult. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Now, if somebody lost their house in foreclosure or, living out of your car, but you're going to work every day and you're showering, at the gym, I've seen people homeless, but they're functioning.
Yeah.
Those are the people that I'm like, okay, hey, let's invest money here.
Yeah.
But when they have a problem, when they're an addict, they have to do that on their own.
Yeah, it has to come from
and then
them.
once they're clean, then it's like, okay, now you're clean. Now let's help you. But they have to do that first step.
Yeah, it definitely has to come from them. In that sense. And like I said, man, I thought just because I have this platform, you know what I mean? I'm like, man, should I go out there and maybe start a series where I'm going through Phoenix, talking to these people and asking them how'd they get there? What would it take? What do you need? But I've seen other channels do that. And to be honest, besides maybe getting some care packages for some of them or something like that, I think that it'd be more exploitative than anything. It'd be putting them in front of a camera for views, because in the end, it's not seriously gonna. If I thought that may lead to them changing and being better, then maybe. But I don't think so. When I watch those videos from the other channels, it's perpetual. You know what I mean? 2 years later, now we're seeing how this person is still out here on the streets and we're good. But now everybody sent you a care package because they like you and they care for you. And that's great. But again, I think it's exploitative, you know?
And I wouldn't want to. Once in a while, I don't mind feeding the homeless because they need to eat too. Like I said, I do have a little soft spot. But if I could choose where the money goes, it's going to go to kids.
And that's why I want to focus more on that.
And
yeah.
I would rather give the money to, for band equipment for a school where they're going to use it for years and years.
Yeah.
Rather than just, here's a meal for the day and then you're going to still go get high. And I'm sorry, if I have to choose my money, it's going to go to the kids first.
Yeah.
Everything should go to the kids first. The government, when they put up this hotel, people can live there rent free. Why don't they do that with schools? Why are you wasting all this money there? And then really you're going to avoid the kids first and then you're going to go, no.
Yeah, no.
If I have to choose, it's not going to be them. I'm sorry.
It definitely pulls at the heartstrings because we're human. But I think the logical, smart thing to do is put the resources into the kids that can still be guided the right way, and hopefully, those people, the other ones can figure it out for themselves, because that's what it's going to take anyway. You cannot make them want to be clean. They have to want to in the end. And once that happens, then a helping hand will probably help. But they have to want it for themselves. But yeah, it's a trip, Eric. I hear you, brother. And that's probably even more gacho, like I said, because it's your carnal. Tony G said, Cricks, you hear what just happened in Iran? Yeah, I heard. They're attacking, right? There's been a couple shots fired, It's we'll see what it leads to, brother. I mean, it's happened before, so we'll see. But yeah, I definitely I saw what's going on. Eric said, "Yep, same here. My brother be around there by some canal too." Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, they have their spots and stuff, and I don't know. It's hard. It's messed up and everything, but they'll figure it out, I guess. I hope, Porqueño said, I learned that the hard way. You can't change for everyone, not even your kids. It has to be for yourself. It has to be a selfish act, just like getting into it was a selfish act. Yeah, that's true.
That's right.
For sure. Patricia Gonzalez on Facebook said, hello, how are you two doing? Been good, Patricia.
Oh, good. Yeah.
We have been here enjoying this 100-and-something weather, burning up, sweating, and hating life. Other than that, everything's great.
I'm not hating life.
I hate it when it's hot. My back's all wet. It's
I kind of like it being a little warm.
Warm. Yeah.
You get a little toasty. I got sunburn, you guys.
Yeah, she got burnt the fuck up.
Got sunburnt up.
She looked like a little India Maria. Where's he at?
Really?
Jack Armenta, what's up, man? It's been a minute. How you doing, brother? He said, what's up, Carnal? How you doing, bro? Man, I haven't seen you in a minute. How you doing, brother? Jojo said, my highness stays by the same canal.
Oh. You better go check on her.
At the canal or by the canal? You don't know what canal I'm talking about, bro. There's a lot of canals in Phoenix. Eric Lerman said, yeah, I know exactly.
I want to be by one anyway.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Right. Hey, do you remember, Jojo? I don't know how old you are or any of you guys here, but and if you're not from Phoenix, maybe it's different other places. But you guys ever remember swimming in the canals, in the pompas?
No, it's so disgusting.
Oh, she did, but I'm talking about normal childhood kids, people.
So disgusting. I can never let my kids swim in a canal.
Eric Lerma said, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. And yep, I'd be thinking the same thing, like, darn, how can I help? But they have to want the help. Been there and lived out there myself a few years back, so I know how it is.
But like Daniel said, they went into it being selfish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They went into it being selfish. So okay, well then there you go.
Yeah, and they got to get out of it being selfish. It's got to be for them.
It's exactly that.
Yeah, you can't even like you said, you can't even do it for somebody else. You can't. It can't be like I'm gonna do this for my kids, because I don't think that that's enough of a motivating factor. Because it didn't. You had your kids when you got into it. You know what I'm saying? It has to be because you're just so tired of it, and your life is so, you've reached bottom and you're just done. You know, Jojo. So that's one good thing about places like North Korea. It's hard to save up to get a place in a car, so they just say fuck it and drown their sorrows in the drugs. Forced quarantine is the only answer. Forced quarantine, like locking them up, fool?
Can you quarantine in a room?
Well, I know, but forced, that's locking them up.
Yeah, maybe they need it.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm agreeing to that. Because even that wouldn't, I mean, unless you're going to keep them in there for life. If they want to get high, then they'll do that and get out and go get high. They do it now.
No, because then they'll be clean and subconsciously.
Yeah, but you're talking about the physical addiction. There's still always going to be a mental one until they break that. And that's the part. That's where they'll always want to until they don't want to. You know what I mean?
You gotta start beating it out of them.
Well, there's one plan. On another note, I'm probably
like when they were little.
On another note, I'm probably late on this, but you hear about that guy that got sentenced about 7 months back for killing Chad Munoz? Yeah, Timothy Bernal. Yeah, he killed little Casper. Yeah, it was a trip, man. Little Casper should have known better. Again, I've said it before. Most of you guys watching know my story, and if you don't, I guess the only way to put it is I used to be a Mexican Mafia member and now I'm not. So that tells you the situation I'm in. There's a lot of people that would like to take me out. And little Casper was the same way. And I've always said that, like, you know, when my jefita or anybody was like, man, why are you going to come back to Arizona? You know, you're in danger, all that drama, right? And I always said, listen, as long as you're not hanging out in the barrios, you're not going to the clubs, you're not chilling at the bars, you're not in that world, in that life, the chances of running into somebody that's willing to do something like that are very small. Unfortunately, little Cass was running around with this dude, and there you go. You know what I mean? He was still getting high, still doing, you know, whatever he was doing. They're in a car. The vato tells his old lady to drive, but in the car, they had that cuete. He had a what do they call it? It's almost like a AK or whatever, but a Draco. He had a Draco. He turned around, little Cass is in the back seat, and he unloaded on him and whacked him. The fact that you're driving around in a car with a gun in it tells me you're still up to your shit. You know what I mean? And of course, if you're on the lista for, you know, you're putting yourself in danger by even kicking it with fools like that. And that's what happened. You know what I mean? That dude, Timothy Bernal, did him. And what's crazy is if you look him up, bro, he gets out in like 2043. He only picked up 22 years for that one and another one. They said a few months before that he had whacked somebody else. I don't know how he got off like that, but yeah, I did see that though. I heard about it almost the second, third night after it happened. It was crazy. Chad has brothers that were part of it as well, you know, Chunky and Boxer and them. Jojo AZ said, hey, Jovan, pooping in a bush can be fun. Don't knock it till you try it.
I will never try it in my entire life. Maybe not even in my next lifetime. I will never try that. No, thank you, sir.
Exploiting and enabling, shake my head. I'd rather give to kids, said Jojo. Yeah. Priority is the kids, struggling families, veterans, than maybe homeless addicts.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think so too. Just because I think that it's almost you're wasting your time until they're ready. You know what I mean? And with kids, you're never wasting your time. I think with kids,
And the only adults that I would is like the adults that are trying, but they just something happens, because I know I've been there. I wish I had that help, where even if it's mom and dad in the house, but it's so expensive. Oh, our car broke down, so it put us behind, and then we maxed out our credit card trying to pay for the car and try. So this Christmas is going to be a little tight, or that's who needs help.
Yeah,
you got to reward good behavior, not bad behavior. They're on something. They don't want to get help. That's rewarding bad behavior. And again, it's hard because they got to eat and you feel bad and all that somebody's kid, but you know what I mean? If I had to pick, which we do, because when we fundraise, it has to go to families first, and these kids first, and these schools first. It just has to.
And here's the thing with kids, I don't think there's ever a time where you should give up. Yeah. I think with kids, you try and try again, because that light can eventually come in. You're going to lose some. Absolutely. We know that. But I think that it's always worth the try. A lot of kids are, they're immature. They don't know what it is to receive sentences in prison like that. You know what I mean? Like 3 months of summer when you're out of school feels like forever. So when you tell a kid you're going to get sentenced to 5 years, they can't even wrap their mind around that. To them, it's like, okay, well, 5 years, whatever. You know what I mean? They don't think about all the losses that they endure behind that, the heartache and everything else that comes with that. It's not a movie, and it's not, a TikTok guy with a stupid orange shirt telling you fake stories. You know what I mean? Like, it's real. And I think that's what needs to be put across to these kids. They just need to know the truth, not the glorification, not these idiots that are all over the YouTube and the TikToks and stuff talking about it with a cell in their, like, as their background, and talking about it's for educational purposes. Shut the fuck up.
It's not for education.
Let me see, bro. Tony G said, "Are you working right now, Crix?" I'm not, brother. So, my job had passed on my after I went to the hospital and stuff, and I got out. My job had to give my position to somebody else. They tried to give me another position that was like $13 an hour less. I was making 36, and they were trying to give me 20. I was making 38. They were trying to give me 26, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to focus on the nonprofit, and I'm also trying to build something else with family, actually. And I figure I'm going to just focus on that, see if it'll happen. We figure 6 months, give it a try. If things work out, great. If not, I'll go back to, I'll get a job. I mean, I have a good resume and everything, so it wouldn't be hard, but I'm trying to see if there's another route that I can take with family, to do something else better, actually. So that's what I'm doing right now, brother. It's kind of, and in the meantime, also focusing on building the nonprofit and hopefully get it going the way I've been trying to get it here for a while now. Tony G said, "I think people protesting on 75th and in Cano right now. Are they?" Yeah, I think we saw yesterday the Mira was at Oso Park and a few other places all around out there. They're kind of everywhere. Mark Gonzaga said 51st Ave Canal.
Let us know if you guys know where they're going to be at, so I can keep Manuel indoors.
Yeah, if you guys know where the Migra's at, let it know. I'll put it out here, and that way she doesn't go with me when I'm driving around.
No, I'm not going anywhere.
Because she has her papers, but they'll definitely pull us over.
No, they definitely won't. You go in the car looking like that, they're going to get backup.
What's wrong with me?
You look suspect. Look at you. Not me.
Tony,
I'm like, "Hi, sir. Hello. How can I help you?" That voice. And You know, I don't look like a Chocoloca, so they're like, oh, hey, get down to you. They're like, get on the ground right now.
Chocoloca?
Yeah, no Chocoloca over here.
Tony G said, I never dared jump in that water because I didn't trust that water because I heard it was soft on top, but will stuck you in the deeper end.
That is just disgusting.
Yeah, it would. It would. The fun part was, bro, is when you got to the corners, it had that like kind of waterfall thing, and then depending on some of them, bro, you could actually go under the asphalt, like and go across to the other side, so you would almost drown, but it's like you're on a almost like in a tube of water, like it's pushing you. You know what I mean? So it was fun as hell when you're little. You know when you're little, bro, you're about to drown and shit. That shit's fun.
You have some issues.
I mean, as a kid.
No, it's not fun when it's drowning.
I'm saying the tube of water, like, you know what I mean?
No, sir.
Enrique Luna said, La Primera lives.
My sister couldn't swim when she was little, so they got her a life vest and floaties. They made sure she wasn't going to drown. I'm just saying.
Bubba Ganoush, man, been a while. He said, good evening. How you doing, brother? Good evening to you.
Oh, hey.
Sorry, I know that there's Facebook and YouTube in here and you guys can't see each other, so I'm reading some comments that other people don't see, and that's what it is. That's why it is that way. I don't know why they haven't integrated it and made it so you can see both sides, but yeah. Jojo AZ said, lock them up until they're broken. They broken in. But will that work, bro? A lot of fools do a lot of time, eh? And then they still get out and just go straight to getting messed up again. You know what I mean? I got you. Let me see, where am I at? Burqueño, I crashed a dirt bike into a ditch when I was a kid. Got my butt whooped for it too. Did you? Enrique Luna said, dropout with question marks. Yes. Jojo AZ said it was dangerous, Tony. Yeah, Dracos are awesome, said Tony G. He got comfortable, bro. Yeah, he did get comfortable, brother. Tagacho. That's, I mean, little Casper had been on the lista, bro, since 2002. So almost 20. He was on the streets over 20 years. He should have, I don't know, man. Over 50 years old. I don't know why he was still running around doing and hanging out with, putting himself in that position. But you're right, he got comfortable. But yeah, little Casper, I remember when he left, and it was 2002. I remember I was still there. As a matter of fact, I read the paperwork that came out on him before he knew what was going on, and then it came out on him. You know what I mean? He got comfortable, bro. This fool's a dropout, Senator. Then get off my shit, bro. If you don't like it, what the hell? You don't have to be here.
I think he has a crush on you.
Yeah, I mean,
so he's flirting with you.
Here's the thing. I mean, it's not a secret. Like, you're acting like you're letting people know what's going on. I have a video on here that says why I walked away from the Mexican Mafia. It's not a secret. You don't got to tell everybody. Everybody knows it. I don't deny it. I'm not like your other favorite YouTubers that pretend they're somebody they're not. I walked away. I left that life, and I'll speak against it all my life. And you, my friend, that never dropped in will never know why anybody should drop out. You know what I mean? You're just going to talk about how tough you are on the internet. But we'll go ahead and get you out of here. That way you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to talk to a dropout. See you later.
You drop out piece of food.
You drop out my channel, fool. How about that? Damien De Leon.
How about that?
Catch me outside.
Lord.
Damien De Leon. What's up, brother? He said, what up, gente? Finally caught a live right as I get home.
Oh,
Beautiful. Damien said, hello, Grillo and White Fence. How's it going?
It's going.
It's been going, brother.
Going.
Damien said, how's our fearless content creator been?
Oh, I'm great, actually.
I've been content creating, brother.
You're all right. Calm down.
You see, Burkina said, man, Grio, you should see the turnaround my stepson has had in the last year. His whole mindset has changed. You can see the young man in him now. That's good, bro. That's good. I know that for a minute there you were real worried about that, and it wasn't looking good. But you know, I like to think that if as long as the kids don't go too far young enough, right? Like they'll eventually mature and see everything for what it is. Because I think it just takes maturity to see it. I think it's an immature mindset to believe that that's some type of lifestyle that people should be a part of. You're still under the almost high school mentality of trying to be part of the cool crew. You know what I mean? Except, it's a deadly ass game and people die in this one. And more than that, again, you get people talking crazy and saying things, and they have no idea the hypocrisy, the backstabbing, and all that goes along with that lifestyle. And like I said, if we could just give that information to these kids, they can make a more well-informed, mature decision, I think. And that's good that your stepson has gotten to that point, brother.
Well, that you guys are sticking by him and helping him, and
yeah,
it's probably a really proud moment for you guys to say, like, hey, you were almost lost, but look, you're back at it. You're doing great. So
yeah,
that's a good little story. I like it.
Absolutely, that's great, brother.
Yeah, I like to hear that. We just can't give up on these kids. One year from another, that they're different people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That just like that, from 8th grade to high school or freshman year to junior year, they just change. They're like that. That's how kids are. But you got to keep them on track. Discipline, love, structure.
Yep.
It's tough, but you just got to do it.
Jojo said we can preach all we want, but until we set an example, the youngsters won't listen. Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Well, I mean, it's crazy because most kids, you would think they'd get their bad influence from the streets and from their friends and stuff like that, but most of them get it from their parents.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they're screwed.
That is true.
They're screwed. And it's so sad because it's like, kid, you don't have a chance. Look at your parents. Look at what they're doing.
Yeah. No, definitely. That's definitely.
That's what's messed up, because it's in your own home. And then how do you tell the kid, like, your mom is wrong?
Yeah.
Or your mom is trash, but
again, maturity will eventually they'll see that. Everyone does. And I think that's also why there's such a phenomenon of people leaving that lifestyle. Look at the pintas. The pintas are the majority of the joints now are protective custody or SNY or 50-50 or integrated housing, whatever the fuck you want to call them. They're no longer following that program. And it's not because you got a bunch of weak vatos in this generation. None of that. Because I could name a lot of fools that are walking around those yards right now that were from the 80s. You know what I mean? A couple from the 70s. I think it just eventually people mature and they see it for what it is. It's a game, and it's not a fair game. And I think, the people that get involved in it for other reasons. And when they see what it's really about, their mind changes. Most people get involved because they're looking for acceptance. They're looking for a family. They're coming from broken homes. They never had that positive adult guidance, that mentor that they've been trying to look up to their whole life are usually those deadbeats, because that's the lifestyle they've been a part of.
I heard a mom at my work. Oh gosh, she's a horrible mom. She yells at her kid, and she's not a chocoloca or anything. She's, nice white lady, nice home, lives on 300th Ave. You know what I mean? Like she's out there. I mean, they have it good. They look like a good family, but she is just crazy. She yells at her kid after, after his class. Oh my God, you're such a disappointment. You didn't get it. You didn't get it. I'm like, disappointment? Like, poor choice of words. Like, I don't think my parents have never told me that I've disappointed them. And I feel there's been times that they should have. They should have said it to me at least probably maybe 3 times in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And they never have. And this lady is like yelling in front, and then in front of everybody, in front of the teacher, in front of me, in front of other parents, in front of other students, because he couldn't get something right. So he's a disappointment at 12 years old.
Yeah.
And
I think it goes both ways.
You know what I mean? It's sad.
Yeah. And I think that's another thing, you know what I mean? They feel they can never.
The kids can never go to their parents for anything because they're scared or they're fearful. So when they get out there in the world as adults, they're looking for that acceptance, that love that they didn't have. So they go into wrong relationships, toxic relationships, or they do things that make them feel good. And one of them can lead to drugs. One of them can lead into getting into a street gang or something like that, where they feel wanted, needed, acceptance, all those things.
Yeah. Yep. Jojo said we need more people to be better parents, but at the same time, social media is working against us. Yeah, but I think parents is key, bro. Parents, or at least not just parents. I think parents is important, yes, but I think just a positive influence in your life, male or female, whatever. You know what I mean? Just having somebody to look up to is huge, bro. Because every kid that you talk to that has been, or even all of us, right? That people that have been, I did 20 years in prison. I could, if I wanted to sit here and talk about it, I can talk about the people that I looked up to when I was a kid. I think every kid looked up to somebody, and it was usually probably the wrong person to look up to. I know the ones I did were. And I think if we were able to put positive role models in front of these kids, a positive mentor, someone they can talk to, someone who could tell them the real deal about life and decisions and making choices and consequences and all of these things, then I think that it would make a huge difference. I think that neighborhoods. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but he said it because social media. Then don't have your kid on social media.
Well, that's a parent thing. Yeah.
That's your 14-year-old is not going to run your house because they're on TikTok or take the phone from them. Turn off the Wi-Fi. You have control as a parent.
Yeah.
There's no way a kid is going to run my household. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
And if you can't control them at 10 or 14, good luck at 21 and all, it's out. You have to get a handle on it now. You have to get a hold of it. You got to try.
Yeah.
I mean, just because social media is out there doesn't mean that they have to do it. I mean, there's crack out there too. It doesn't mean that we have to go do it. I mean, every generation has something. In the 80s, we had what? 90s, what was it? 2000s. I mean, it's crazy. I grew up on the west side of Phoenix. There was gangs all around me. I didn't even know. I didn't know the names of them. Because I wasn't involved in that. My parents didn't let me. Yet I lived right there and didn't know. But when they started noticing a big change, they're like, we got to get out of here. And that's why when my son was born, I'm like, I can never go back over there. So now I have to work extra hard to maintain a lifestyle for him so that we can live in a nice area. Just because it's there doesn't mean that it has to be for them.
Yeah, no, for sure. But again, and I think that's part of the problem has been, and it's, that in those neighborhoods, the people that make it out don't come back. And the people that don't make it out are the ones that are there still guiding these kids. You know what I mean? They go to the joint, they parole back to their, mom or dad, whoever's house that's still in the neighborhood. And then all these kids are like, oh, the big homie just got out the joint, and they're over there looking up to this individual, and that's the person they look up to. They don't see the one that went to college and is now running a business somewhere because he doesn't come back and hang out at the park with them. I think that's why I've come to the conclusion and to the decisions that I have with the nonprofit, where I think the biggest part of it, the program that I think needs to really be pushed and emphasized, is the mentor program. Getting these kids in front of positive adults, role models that that they could just talk to. Just talking to them is, I think, would be huge, because they're not getting that anywhere else. Jovan, if they try deporting you, we will stand up for you, said Tony G.
Oh my God.
Yeah, bro. If they do, bro, I'll come on here, guys, and we'll do a fundraiser.
You don't gotta do all that
for a coyote.
No, you don't have to do that. I was born and raised here. I was grown here.
Grown?
Mm-hmm.
Jojo.
I grew here.
Jojo AZ said they'll sick the dogs on her.
No, sir. Nope.
Ray Miranda said, did you watch the podcast with Big Chipas? I did. I watched it, brother.
We talked about it a few times.
Eric Lerma said, what podcast is that at, Ray? I can't remember what it was called, to be honest. It was is that the
one where he talks about walking away or something?
Yeah, it was a private detective's YouTube channel. I can't remember exactly what it was called though, brother. Jojo AZ said, was 40 put on the lista in 2014? I believe so. Something like that, bro. I got a hold of him probably like around 2018. And he kind of broke down to me what had happened and stuff. And then I came in town and we hung out. And after that, every year I would come out for Christmas and we would kick it. And but I believe, yeah, it was around that time. It was after he got out of doing that the 22 years, or I think 26 years is what he ended up doing. He had a 22 plus. Big motherfucker came in laughing. What's up, fool? How you doing, brother?
Hello, big guy. How are you?
Francisco Garcia put a thumbs up. 209. You will it, bro. Big motherfucker said he gonna cry in the car.
Oh.
Geronimo de los Cielos. What's up, Geronimo?
Oh, hello.
How you doing? Let me see. Bubba Ganu said, good to see you got your health back. Yeah, bro. I feel a lot better, to be honest. Yeah, it sucks, man. I still have some healing to do. I got a couple surgeries left to do, basically skin grafts, and after that, hopefully I'll be at that 100%. But yeah, man, it sucks being laid up like that, man. I was in the hospital 3 months. Estaba gacho. Damien de Leon said, Jovan, better be careful. I don't know how Arisa has been, but here ICE ain't no joke. She better brush up on her Spanish.
Excuse me, sir. I'm not scared. I'm not worried. I'm not going anywhere. I was grown here. My parents were my grandparents, my great grandparents. Do we have to go through this again, you guys? Do I have to bust out my ancestry DNA? Do you guys need to see the chart where the bloodline goes?
Patricia,
I think we need to have a refresh again. Do you know what I mean? Because I think they forget.
I think that.
I think so.
Patricia said, I think mental abuse is worse than physical abuse. I agree. Yeah. I agree. I think, well, physical abuse is tagacho, but I totally agree that mental abuse is worse. And there may be, there's probably an element of mental abuse when you are getting your ass beat too in the physical side, but mental abuse, I think is, I'm sure 100 times harder to get over. You're dealing with, someone's mental health, and I know mental health has gotten, a lot more. There's a lot more focus on it than it used to be, but I was in the joint with dudes that were like, for real crazy. You know what I mean? And it's just a sad existence, and they get there usually because of traumatic events in their life. Some I understand that it's come because of genetics or whatever, but I think to be mentally abused, especially a kid, I think it can lead this. It's just damaging, absolutely damaging, and probably one of the tougher things to get over.
I think I mentally abused my parents. I think it was reversed for my situation. I think I messed them up growing up.
Well, Jovan was a spoiled little brat, so
I do have that one tragic story. Tragic, and again, my mom has apologized 1,000 times, and I've made her feel bad about it, because as she should, because what she did to me, that has mentally scarred me. But it's that time that she thought she was going to teach me a lesson, and I didn't want to get in the car, so she kind of drove off, and then some guy in a truck was trying to call me over, so I ran, because I could have been dead right now. I'm over it, though. I've learned to accept it. I'm over it. She's apologized, over and over. She then has bought me things to make up for it. But yeah, that mental abuse is definitely, it's upsetting. It scars. Look, it scarred me for life. It did.
But anyway, Patricia, you're right. I believe that's absolutely more worse.
I'm just saying, I'm over it, but I'll never forget it.
Jojo said, teach them trades and ways to make money at a young age. I think that will help. I do too. Yeah. I absolutely believe that. I think it's almost like a three-prong approach with what we're gonna do with the nonprofit. That's gonna be implemented. It's gonna be, number one, absolutely the mentor program. And that's why I've made that such a big part of the website. When you go on there, people can sign up to be a mentor. There's 3 different categories of mentors. And I've told you guys, if you do sign up, please know that it's not just going to be, standing in front of a group of kids telling them your story. It's truly a mentor program. We want you to, be a part of whatever kid that you're with, that's in your life. Guide them as you would your own children almost. These kids need that to get past whatever's going on that is brought them to us. You know what I mean? And so that's one of the parts. And then absolutely, I think trades, education, financial literacy, all of those things are huge. It's important. I've talked to kids that high school age and couldn't divide. They wouldn't know what 30 divided by 2 is. It's almost a sad situation, and it's not their fault. As frustrating as it is, and you almost want to be like, are you serious? You don't know this? You don't know what you don't know. That's a conversation that Jovan and I had actually earlier today. It's not their fault. They don't know what they don't know. And so patience is key when you're dealing with them as well, because no kid, I won't say no, the majority of kids are not going to take it upon themselves to come home and say, I need to study because I don't know what I'm doing. Most of them depend on their parents to say, hey, do you have homework? Hey, sit at the table and do your homework. Hey, you didn't do good on this, do this. And a lot of them don't have that. And again, that's the adult mentor part of it.
It needs to be repetition. It has to be
absolutely
over and over, not just a one-time thing. Once you do that, then the kids will, then follow along. That's what my parents did when we were growing up. Hey, at this time, every time we have dinner, we have, it's shower time, it's bedtime, it's every day until it gets in our head. Okay, we know dinner's at 6. We know that we have to do this at 7. And then it gets in your head, and then they just start doing it by themselves. But when you have those parents that just leave it up to the kid to figure out life, and they're only 13 years old, it's like, really? They're not.
Yeah.
They're not. If I let my son decide what he wanted to do, would have had a SpongeBob tattoo at the age of 8. So, you can't just let them do what they want.
Yeah.
They need structure.
Absolutely. Steven Martinez said, "Hey, brother, how are you?" And Jovan, been good, brother. How are you?
Yeah.
He said, "Love your show. You're one of the best, second to Howard Stern." I believe that, bro. I do believe that.
Howard Stern?
I'm better than second to him.
The guy that shows boobs and all that stuff.
Well, I mean, but he's become huge because of that. You know what I mean? So I can understand being second.
He makes his money off of stuff like that.
But I can understand being second to that. I'm good, but maybe I'm not that. I mean, I don't have a Pulitzer, or what do they give you when you're
just not.
What do they give you for radio though?
I don't know. I'm just thinking about Howard Stern. Really?
I'm trying to think what it is though. The Edward R. Murrow? No, that's news. ¿Cómo se llama? Thank you, Steven. I appreciate it, brother. Agent Orange said, El famoso Jojo. Georgie said, you still look like a cholo. I do? How, bro? I mean, I got tattoos. They're never going to go away. But I mean, I don't take that as anything wrong. I actually still dress like that. I mean, everyone knows that. I still wear button-up shirts. I still wear, I mean, I'll tell you this, I feel comfortable in that clothes because I've always worn that. And here's my thing. I think that has been hijacked now. I will say this. I know it comes with a negative connotation. I'm not blind to that fact. I know that if someone sees me dressed like that, their first thoughts are negative. I know that. But I still dress like that because I feel I feel, I don't know, comfortable that way. But I don't go to work like that. I know when and where it's acceptable, and I'm not blind to the fact that it carries a negative connotation. However, I don't think that cholo necessarily means gang member. I don't. I think that it's been hijacked that way, and most people will automatically make that assumption.
I disagree.
I know you do.
I think cholo is a bad word. I think cholo is a bad word.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't want to be raised by a chola or a cholo.
Oh, well, that's different.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's different. I'm not. So, yeah, I'm not saying.
I think it is a bad word. I don't like it.
Mm-hmm. Again, I've dressed a certain way since I was a kid, but I'll tell you, on my day to day, bro. Right now, I got Jordan sweatpants on, and all day.
I think you wear more jeans. Like,
yeah.
You don't wear Dickies and a feather in your.
No, I don't do that.
And you don't wear a hat with suspenders and
no.
Like.
Well, here's the thing. I don't wear a costume. If you know what I'm saying. Like, I'll wear jeans and a button-up shirt.
Or you'll wear like a pro club shirt and some like basketball shorts.
Yeah, but I don't wear Chucks. I don't wear Dope Mans. I wear Jordans. On a day-to-day, that's how I dress. I don't dress in so I guess it's semi-cholo-ish, I guess. But it's more, I think more people look at me that way because of the tattoos and stuff. Because honestly, on a day-to-day, I don't dress like that anymore. I do have button-up shirts y todo eso, but again, it's coupled with jeans and Jordans.
And
it's
not a couple of times when you started jobs and you wear long sleeves to start, and then you don't. They're like, "Oh my God, you have tattoos!"
Yeah,
they can't even like believe it. They're like, "Oh,
yep,
you're sleeved," you know.
Because I know, and again, I'm not blind to what the negative connotation that brings. So I wouldn't go to a job interview, decked down with my taka showing all out there and shit. I'm not stupid. You know what I mean? And I don't wear brim hats with feathers or a chain hanging down like a pachuco. Again, I don't wear a costume. I wear clothes. And so I hear what you're saying. And I agree. And I don't even know if you're saying it negatively. You didn't say it. It didn't seem like you said it that way, but I know what you're getting at as far as my appearance. And again, on a day to day, I don't know, jeans, a button up, and some Jordans. If that's cholo, then okay. But honestly, I don't believe that. It's not like that no more. I'm not with Chucks. I don't wear Dickies. I guess the button up is as far as I go. And when I do see those people like on the tiki-talkie thing with, they're dressing with the Dickies and the belt hanging and the the button up and the brim hat with the feather and the all that. To me, that says to me costume. They're playing a role now, and it's more, to me, it's more clownish than anything. But I hear what you're saying, brother. And again, I don't know if you meant to say it as a negative or not, but
I just don't like that word.
I don't take it negative. You know what I mean? I was a cholo for the majority of my life. So there may be some, I don't know, maybe the way I carry myself or something, but it can't be the way I dress anymore, because honestly, right now, all you've seen is tattoos and an undershirt. You know what I mean? So that's what that tells you. But as far as dressing, I wear, but usually, like I said, today I got Jordan sweatpants on and a Jordan shirt that matched it, and my fucking Jordan shoes. That was it. So I mean, it's just different, I guess. Agent Orange say gracias, gracias cricket with the thumbs up. Yes, I was, bro. Jojo Az said I got a Wheeler and his brother was there with me. I told him quit using his brother's name, and he looked at me scared but out of love, I left it like that. Who? You talking about Cuarenta's brother? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know Cuarenta's brother. I know one of his brothers, the one that got whacked, and then, well, his brother got put in a wheelchair when he was young, and that's what 40 ended up going to prison for initially. He blasted the dude that blasted his brother, but that was years. Obviously that's what he went to join in 1993 for. Ray Miranda said, "Truth Be Found podcast is the name of it with the interview." Yeah, that was it. Truth Be Found. That was it. Jojo Az said, "Agent Orange, salute. Heartlight Phoenix is in the house. Up, y'all. What's up, brother?"
Hey, Tony.
He said the kidnap, Jovan O.
Yeah, I'm over it, but I'll never forget. And I don't bring it up anymore to my mom because I've tortured her enough about it. Mm-hmm. But it was very real. It really was.
Yep. Patricia Gonzalez put the thumbs up. Giovanni Ponce Leon said, "Ice Killer."
Oh.
Then he put a Mexican flag. You know what? And this may not be popular, what I'm about to say, but I don't give a fuck. It's my platform. I think it's irresponsible to wave the Mexican flag when you're doing these
right, and it's rioting, it's burning down stuff, it's destroying things. That's not convincing me that you want to be here, man.
Yeah,
and waving that flag, it's like, then go there.
Yeah, I think that it sends the wrong message, and it gives argument to the other side. If you're truly saying, "Hey, I love America. I'm here to work. Maybe my parents didn't do it the right way, but I'm American 100%, and I do not want to be, whatever your argument is," then to wave the Mexican flag seems counterproductive to me. I get being proud of your heritage, but this isn't the time for that. If you want to hang a Mexican flag in your room, orale, or in front of your, however you want to. But in a position like this where you're saying, this is my country too, and I want to stay here, and it's not fair that you want to send me away, no matter what the argument is. What people may argue differently, whatever, but your stance is that. I think it's counterproductive to then wave the flag of another country, because you're saying, don't send me back, but hey, here's that country's flag. It just seems kind of ridiculous to me. I don't understand the logic of that. Is doesn't make sense.
Imagine if I went to Mexico, started burning down stuff, started rioting in the streets, waving the American flag, demanding that they let me stay there. I'd be dead. In an hour or 30 minutes.
And that's the irony of this. They're doing it in a country that allows you to do that. I mean, it's great, but I'm thinking, if you really, as an individual that's trying to make a point, you're kind of going against your own point. You're giving the other side a great argument. I mean, look at what they put on the damn newspaper. All that smoke with some vato standing there with the damn flag. I mean, that's all they had to do to turn 50% of the country against them. Again, it's counterproductive.
Again,
it's not logical.
I feel bad for some situations, but some I don't, because I've had my identity stolen over like probably 10, 15 times. I can't even remember. And it wasn't by a drug dealer, it wasn't by a killer. It was some guy that just wanted to work. Guys that wanted to work. And they came here, and a lot of people are like, they just want to come here and work. All they do is work. And yeah, but with who's social? With Jovan's social. That's with who.
And the thing is
and because they use my social so many times, it almost stopped me from getting certain benefits. It stopped me from having health care for my child almost. I get it. They want to come over here and work, and they do work. But no, dude, not off my name and not off my number. You know what I mean?
And again, their argument, they can argue, their argument is whatever they want it to be, right? You can either, you can agree or disagree. All I'm saying is you're undermining your own argument when you fly the flag of the place you're saying you wanted to leave to come to. That's it. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing to fly that to have respect for your own, the heritage, and you like, growing up, I had a Mexican flag in my room. I think I have it tattooed on me somewhere. I mean, I actually do. I have the eagle on my stomach and everything. So, I mean, I'm all for it. I just think not in this argument. It doesn't make sense to do it while you're arguing you want to stay here. So that's all I'm saying.
Not just that. In other cases, like this guy is like, oh, they're deporting me after 25 years. What have you been doing for 25 years?
Yeah.
Are you serious? Are you crazy right now? I'm sorry. I don't want to get too into it because I don't care. I'm sorry. I don't. I've been a victim of that. I've been a victim of it. I've actually called a place and was like, hey, do you have a worker there by, Jovan Hernandez? Yeah, he comes in at this time. And I'm like, what? What? This is the guy that is going to make me stop getting health care for my child? But he's a good guy. He just wants to come here and work for his family. But off my back? Are you crazy? I don't think so. I'm sorry. No, I'm not with it.
Ernie, you said, Cricket, have you thought about writing a book? I don't know.
Please don't. No, he hasn't. He's
No.
wrong.
Listen, and to be honest, I thought about it, bro. I just don't know if I have anything to say that everybody else hasn't already said. You know what I mean? My life, yes, boo-hoo. I was, neglected kid, gang member, got in trouble, did all that. I don't think I have a story that's significantly different than most others. You know what I'm saying? If anything, I feel like if I wrote something, it would almost feel like I'm trying to glorify something. You know what I mean? So if I wrote something, I would like to write something after we do the nonprofit and say, hey, this works and this doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? Something like that, I think, would definitely be something I would want to do. But just about me and my life and all that, nah, I'm not interested in that, bro. I'm really not. I don't know. It feels kind of weird. You know what I mean? Writing about yourself, like almost kind of like, I don't know, what would you call that? Like a phone? Yeah, a little conceited.
And then you could read it on here.
Oh.
Chapter 1.
Cricket is
I
born.
was born.
Chapter 2. I got locked up.
I'm 3 months old and I'm in jail.
Ray Miranda said, union apprenticeships can really help kids. I'm living proof. I was getting locked up from the time I was 12 to 24 years old. The union has changed my life. Bro, honestly, I think there are so many paths to getting out of that life, and that is union. Maybe, like, I don't know much about that, right? But I do know it's about learning and work, right? And I'll tell you this, in the Pinta, after I did 20 years, my last 5 years I was in the federal joint. My last 11 years I was in the feds, but my last 5 years I hit this compound, and I was able to get into being a maintenance man. Didn't know shit. Nothing. I couldn't, I mean, maintenance, come on, I've been locked up all my life. Didn't know shit. But I was like the maintenance helper, right? Apprentice or whatever you want to call it. So me and this guy ran around. In every compound, they have like a cop there, like an actual CO that is whatever trade it is, right? So when it was time to go work in the kitchen and fix the oven, an electrician cop that actually works there would come and he would teach us, hey, this is how you test this is how you do that. We'll change this out, we'll pull the wire, whatever. We put conduit all on the walls to pull TVs into the units. Like we did all kinds of shit with conduit benders and learned how to all that stuff, right? Anything you can think of, I did it. 5 years in a joint, basically apartment complex, plumbing, electrical, everything. And I'll tell you, bro, that after learning some of that stuff, I feel so fucking proud, bro. I'm already 30 in the mid 30s at that time, 35 years old, and I'm learning like how to read the multimeter with on the electricity and shit. And I'd be like, that's so fucking cool. Like I know how to do that shit. And it brought it really did bring like a sense of pride, you know what I mean? And that's why I know that for youngsters, kids, and anybody that's coming up, if you can kind of deter them and put them into that world, union, apprenticeships, learning trades, I think you give them such self-confidence by stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because I remember how I felt like, that's crazy. Like I know how to fucking, do, change out an outlet, like stupid little shit that I didn't know how to do years ago. You know what I mean? And change a toilet out and just all kinds of shit that you don't even think of as on a day-to-day basis. And so, yeah, I think that's another huge thing is when you teach these kids life skills and also some type of work trade, get them involved in something, you add to their own sense of self-worth. They feel like they are worth something. You know what I'm saying? They're not just they don't know shit, they ain't done shit. Because I felt like that for years. 20 fucking years in prison. My first 15 is just, basically being nothing, a piece of shit, running around. My first few, stabbing and doing all the dumb shit, drugs and all of that. And then finally, buckling down and learning something, and it just added so much to it. It's a trip, eh? I absolutely agree with you. Steven Martinez said, "Are you going to tattoo over your skin grafts?" I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to, bro. Eventually, I think I'm gonna have big ass blank spot.
Oh well, you're not doing all that.
You don't get to
on
tell
your
me.
New skin, you're gonna go destroy. Like
Destroy?
Yeah.
It's art.
Shut up.
You shut up.
Well, go back to Mexico with your little flag on your stomach.
You guys hear that? Si se puede.
Oh.
Tell this bitch something, guys.
Okay.
Agent Orange said, if you would have a chance to do a tattoo all over again, which would it be? Not replacing it, but doing over. Do a tattoo over?
Maybe your corn tattoo? That's ridiculous. You have some issues. You have some issues, dude, for real. Like you're dumb for real. Like you must have been born in that. I don't know. Like
let me think. What would that? I don't know, bro. My corn? No, I don't.
Like you have some problems.
Woo. This is the bitch that loves me.
I do, but I don't share the same brain as you.
Oh shit. I don't know, bro. Agent Orange. I'm not sure.
It'd be the corn.
To be honest, a lot of my stuff, you see how dark it is and how much it's because a lot of it, I used to have quarter sleeves and they're not there anymore. So all of this is cover up. and that's why you have these big black spot, you know, I mean, all this and what you have. So I think I would have liked to not have the beginning stuff and just get, once I had the good artist, do everything for, you know, because then it would be a lot cleaner, you know what I mean? Patricia Gonzalez said, are your pants creased with heavy starch? No, I haven't done that since I was like, fuck, I don't know, 25, 26, and not with starch.
Yeah, we barely iron. We sort through our stuff, throw it in the dryer for wrinkle control, and we pull it out.
Yeah,
we don't do all that.
I'll tell you what, Patricia.
We don't got time.
I used to spend remember, babe? I used to spend time ironing. What I was doing in the house, huh?
But what did that do for you?
I look nice and clean.
Oh, yes, because you're going to your office job. Shut up. You're stupid.
You liked me? The hell?
You're all right.
But anyway, yeah, no, I haven't done that and actually in the joint, I just used to use a comb or like fold it and put it under the mattress. It's been a long time since I actually like ironed, like to do it like that. Starch, fuck, I ain't had starch in forever. Art Life said, dressed like Johnny Aker from the dental commercial. Who's that? I don't think I've seen that, bro. Johnny Aker from the dental commercial. Farmero said, who's this tattooed up 23-year-old cholo? And why is there a big old ear at the side of the camera?
First of all, sir, shut up. Really? Why are you looking at my ears?
I'm not.
Really now?
He said the ear at the side of the camera. What's up, Farmero? How you doing, brother?
Well, hi to you too. Sorry.
Oh, shit. Agent Orange said, we mentioned to a homie from the neighborhood, where did you get green Dickies? He was colorblind. He thought they only made blue ones. Hey, they had some good ones, man. I remember I had those forest green ones. I had all kinds of, just all the different colors. You get the white ones in the bag. I have a few pairs that I bought after I got out, but I don't wear them anymore. My son started liking them. He said it was comfortable. Not really the Dickie pants, but like the Dickie shorts. But you know, he's not. It's just comfortable for him. I don't know why he grabbed mine, but that's not his thing. But he started kind of liking it.
He was like, "It looks really dressy up," you know. When we're like, "Yeah, but not that kind of dressy up," you know what I mean? He's like, "It looks clean, like it you dressed up or something." It's just, and I'm like. Yeah, that's not.
He put the Dickies on and the Dickie button-up shirt, and he thought he was like dressing up.
He was like, "Look, it's a nice collar shirt. It's nice and clean and creased." I'm like, "Yeah, we're not gonna do that." Nope.
Noel B, what's up, brother? He said, "Good evening, Cricket and Jovan."
Oh, hello.
Porqueño said, "It sure doesn't make us look good, gente. The cause is just, I believe, but the way they are going about it is wrong. It justifies their accusations." Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, listen, the argument, you can make any argument you want. That's, to each his own. I just think it's counterproductive. Like I said, you're giving them a go. You're giving the other side an easy one. That's a layup. You know what I mean? Francisco said, "Jovan better not go outside." Cubile, everyone. What's up, Francisco? What's up, brother?
I'll make sure to stay in. Try to work from home.
Agent Orange said, "But ain't no riot like an LA riot. It's had no spice due to no other race joined in like the old days. You can thank that division to you know who." I haven't really paid attention. I don't know who else is involved. I haven't really seen too much. I just know that the everything that everybody's emphasizing is the flag waving thing, and that, again, like I said, it's taking away from the
flag
argument.
Waving, and this used to be our land, and it was stolen. No, it was lost. It was sold for $15 million. It's not anymore. It's not Mexico anymore. It's it's Glendale, Arizona. It's Phoenix, Arizona. It's over with. It's done.
It's an argument that has no merit. It's not going to lead to anything. I mean, you have to argue you got to be smart about it if you're going to win. You know what I mean? Farmelo said, if waving the Confederate flag is acceptable, what's the issue with Mexico? At least we never went to war with Mexico.
I don't think waving the Confederate flag is a smart thing either. It's stupid. Like, dude, you lost. Why are you still waving that?
Yeah.
You went to war and you lost, and you're still waving it. Like, if what? It's stupid. It's dumb. You lost. Get over it.
Yeah, I think the problem is, Farmero, again, I don't think that there's an issue with the flag per se, and having pride in your heritage, where you're from, but where you at is also, this is also where we're from, bro. We're American, period. We can't go to Mexico and live there if we wanted to. We'd have to get visas and all of that. They have immigration laws too. We're not Mexican, per se. I understand our heritage, but we're not citizens of Mexico. And they have laws just like we do out here. And so I'm not saying that they, it shouldn't be looked into. We don't need to figure it out. There should be debates. All I'm saying is, if you're trying to argue that you want to stay in this country because it's, you want to work, basically it's giving you a life, then it's probably best not to wave the flag of the place you left. That's all I'm saying. You left there for a reason and came here. If it's so great that you need to wave that out here and be, Mexico this, Mexico that, then you, by all means, go to Mexico and do the same thing you're doing here. If not, I think the smart thing to do is to wave the American flag and say, hey, yes, I was born in Mexico, but I'm American. I want to work here. I've lived here. I've raised my kids here. Whatever your argument is, I just think it's counterproductive. And brother, we did, United States did go to war with Mexico. Remember the War of 1812? Francisco VP, and stay away from Ranch Market and Food City.
Wow.
He's talking to you, baby.
I know he is. I don't go to Food City. I might go to Ranch Market and get a little agua or something, but
the little watermelon agua.
Yeah.
Porqueño said, I have to keep papers with me when I go to the DMV because my social is being used in Kansas. I've called them and everything, and nothing has been done. I have to have an IRS pin también.
Isn't that crazy, Porqueño?
Jovan has an IRS pin too.
I do too.
Yep.
It is the most, and again, they're not criminals. They just want to work, right? But still not off of my back. So I know we see the videos on YouTube and TikTok and all that stuff, and they're, arresting all these workers in factories and in the fields and stuff like that because they're using someone else's social. They are here illegally, and you're not going to do it off my back. I've had so many problems with that.
Mm-hmm.
My son's healthcare almost got denied because 3 other people were using it.
Yeah, they said she had too many jobs.
I had too many jobs. I'm like, what are you talking about? I have too many jobs. I've told you guys, they took $700 from my income tax, and I didn't get it back for like 6 or 7 months later because somebody didn't file taxes when they were working at some painting company. Like, I get it. You left that life. You don't want to be over there, but not off of my back. I'm sorry. I don't think so. Like, yes, we're both Mexican, but I'm born and raised here. I'm sorry that you escaped something, and I feel bad for you and everything, but not off of my back. Somebody even tried to get unemployment.
Yeah.
I'm like, you bum? You're going to get unemployment?
While you're working?
While I'm working. No, absolutely not. So I see those things. I don't feel sorry. I'm sorry. I just don't.
Yeah.
I just don't. I couldn't do that in Canada. I couldn't do that in Mexico. I couldn't just go live somewhere and not go about it the right way. And imagine if I went to Canada and Mexico somewhere, and I was there 25 years and never did anything to try to help myself. And then if I use somebody else's working number, absolutely not. No.
Yeah.
That's crazy to get an IRS pin, and then you have to go down there and prove who you are and take time out of work, and it's insane. And because I get it, like everybody says, they just want to come work. Then lend them your social.
Yeah.
I don't want mine out there.
I said War of 1812. It was 1840 or something like that. the American Mexican War, the United Mexican American War. Remember? Well, I mean, not remember, but 1812 was with Britain or some shit like that. But we did have war with Mexico at one point.
And lost, and it was sold.
But the thing is, again, like that's not even the issue. Like I'm not saying, damn, Mexico. I'm just saying,
I'm just tired
when
of
you're
also hearing the whole "this was stolen," that it was conquered, it's over, it's done.
yeah. The thing is, if you're arguing that you want to stay here, then show that. That's it. It doesn't show that when you're waving somewhere else's thing. You know what I mean?
Like I said, I'd be shocked if I went to Mexico doing all that.
Pull out an American flag. Well, they'll definitely
and started rioting.
They'll definitely kidnap you. They're gonna try and get that money.
Oh, a lot of money.
Well, they think they do. The Agent Orange said immigration has changed drastically from when I was out there. In California, moving people was organized and safer for everyone. They're drowning by the boatload in San Diego. Yeah, it's dangerous too. And not just them, the kids. You know what I mean? Like they'll get those the diesel, the trailers full of people and they're dying from the heat and and I get it. I mean, and again, it's not here's the other thing, most people don't want to admit it on the other side, but it's not just Mexicans. You know what I mean? There's a lot of other ethnicities that are coming, a lot from a whole bunch of different countries. Agent Orange said, make a romance novel. I am pretty romantic, bro. Huh.
Okay. Well, not really. The other day we were like kind of splat boxing. I slipped and fell on my knee. So that's not really romantic. Oh, who does that?
You started it.
We don't get me back. What's wrong with you?
She tried to slap me.
I was playing. It was a joke.
And I got away from it and I countered and slapped her. And then she goes, oh, you slapped me hard. And then she like turned and boom, she fell.
I was doing my acting from back in the day. How did you barely hit me? Like
barely touched her. And she fell. She goes, oh, I fell hard.
I was like, what? Call the cops.
Oh, shit. I honestly don't really care. I'm just trying to make Joanne's ears red. For your information, it takes hella long to get papers. It took my pops 25 years to become a citizen and staying on track.
But he still took the steps to do it.
Yeah, he did it.
And he finally got it.
My abuelita too. And I had a tia and my mom. But my mom got married and got hers. But my abuelita and my tia, one of my tias, or both of my tias were too. Mm-hmm. It took them years and years and years to actually.
They were still in the system and they were taking the steps to do it. It doesn't matter how long it takes.
Yeah. As
long as you're doing it. But after you're here 25 years or 30 something years, I mean, I've talked to a lot of people like, oh, I've been here since that's only 30 years. Like, oh my God, what have you been doing? What are you doing with yourself?
Yeah. Burqueño said, Agent Orange said, Burqueño said, salute. Marvin said, is this live? Yes, it is, brother. I don't know if you're still there. Sorry, it's been a while since you asked that question. Art Life Phoenix said, chapter 5 flashback of my wife talking about the kidnap and how her mom is still paying for it.
I've forgiven her though. No, we're good now.
She hasn't.
I have.
You still bring it up every holiday, every time they're talking. Anything comes up about
when we're talking about some mental issue or a parent being bad or something like that.
So you haven't.
Then I'm like, yeah, I like to remember that time. I forgave her. We're good. But it's still there. I can't erase the past. And then that time I didn't get colored marshmallows in my fruit salad. That was ridiculous. But
you were 40.
That's another story. She didn't try. I don't think she tried. She says she went to like 3-4 stores. I don't think she tried. Because when we went to the store, we found them right away. But whatever. That's a whole nother thing too. It is what it is.
Patricia said you learned something different besides gang banging. Absolutely. Again, like I said, I think learning, education, trades, anything like that adds so much to yourself, not from other people. It doesn't matter what other people think. You haven't cared about that your whole life if you're in prison and doing all that stuff, right? But it adds to yourself. You feel a sense of self-worth, of importance, of like, damn, that's cool. Like I learned that stuff. And then I did years and years and years in the joint where I was learning stocks and how to, how to trade options, where I would actually call home and be like, hey, buy this option. And I got the newspaper, the Investors Business Daily, and I would watch that every day and see how much my option was going up. And I'm following I learned all the different graphs. And man, I'm telling you, like, just doing shit like that is important. Yeah, it really is for these kids. I think that, it gets to the point where it adds a lot of, it's going to add a lot of, not just self-worth, but I don't know what you would call it. Like where they feel, what do you call that, baby? Like when you feel, I don't know. I don't know the word. Someone's going to have to say it. Burqueño said, it just pisses me off when gringos say, go back home. Motherfucker, my family has been in this land since the 1600s, before America, before Mexico, and even before Spain.
Yeah, I've been told that too. I've been told, like, what part of Mexico are you from? I'm like, no. But I don't think it's racist. I think that they're ignorant. I really do. I think a lot of them are just ignorant.
Because the same question can be asked of them.
Yeah, what part of, like,
for the most part.
Where do you come from? I've told somebody before, they were like, oh, are you from Mexico, or what part of Mexico are you from? And then I said, well, what part of Africa are you from? Like, when did you come from Africa? And they're like, I'm not, I'm American. I'm like, okay, well then so am I. How stupid is that for me to assume you and then me? Like, see how stupid that sounds? I'm like, oh, I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm like, yeah, it's just a learning thing. It's just, you just didn't know any better. And then, we're off to a good start. But I mean, still, like, don't be dumb.
Mark Gonzaga said, one of my employees told me he never seen a cholo plumber before. LOL. Oh. Yeah, right. Linda Lincoln said, look, dumb ass. Okay, you think Mexicans wrong. Why you in prison? You're giving ass in prison. You don't know shit. Well, what I do know is how to write and spell. So once you learn that, we can have an argument. Until then, I don't fuck with stupid people. See you later, Linda.
Not Linda.
Agent Orange said, farmers, Confederate flags are considered part of the South heritage, and Mexican flag is part of our heritage. Yeah, it is. Like I said, it's not, I don't think it's a bad thing to be proud of your heritage. I think there's time and place, though. You know what I mean? And I just think you undermine the argument by doing that. Not to ourselves, we know what we're doing, you know what I mean, or to whoever's doing that, you know what I mean, but I don't think they're thinking of what the other side is going to do and say and how they're going to use it. And you have to think that you're giving them an up, and that's the problem. You know what I mean? Like you're in that sense, there's a psychological war going on. And if you just give them some shit to throw on the front page and make it look like, see, we're being invaded by this other country. Look, they're flying their flag on our land. What's the argument against that? You know what I mean? As loud as you want to argue, it's being thrown out there and on the front page. And that's all I'm saying. You have to think of those type of, that counter. You know what I mean? You have to. Patricia Gonzalez says, Social Security has that. I started working in 1966 to 1980. I was born in 62.
Okay. Nice.
Farmero said, Jovan, you should probably stop selling your Social Security number. You probably wouldn't have those type of issues. LOL.
First of all, I don't sell nothing, sir. Okay? It's not me. Thank you. You think I wanted those issues?
Agent Orange said, an entire Pakistan family drowned last month. Damn, that sucks.
Drowned?
Yeah, trying to cross the river. So I'm saying it's not just, that's the other side of it. It's not just Mexicans dying and,
I get it. I've like I said, I've heard other sides of it, and people from El Salvador. I saw my husband get shot in the face, and we had to leave there. People were getting raped and people were getting murdered, and we had to leave. Absolutely. Trust me. I get it. But rioting and waving that's not going to help you. What do you got to do to try to do it the right way if possible? You're here now. I don't know, but I get the other side of it. Why you want to leave? I do, because I wouldn't want to be over there. I wouldn't want to be over there either. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Noel B said, Jovan, CC me and the Chocas Locas got your back with ice.
Oh, the Choco Locas. Oh, they definitely have time. It's not like they're going to work or anything.
The OGVs?
Oh, dear God.
Big motherfucker said kidnap. 24 hours of listening to her, and I'm sure they'll pay you to take her back.
Oh, wow.
That's what her mom says, bro.
Because I still tell my mom, I'm like, what if I get adult? So my mom bought me this little thing to put on my purse, and if you pull it, it makes like a loud noise. Because I'm like, I could get adult napped, and so she bought me that to make me feel safe. But she's like, what am I worried about? I think they'll bring you back. I'm just like, you think? Yeah. I don't think. I think they would get a good one.
Patricia said, all them people waving the Mexican flag are not from Mexico. It's just that Mexico's closer, and if they get deported, they'll go to Mexico. Yeah, more than likely. But again, like I said, I mean, I just think that there's a time and place. If you're going to go to a Cinco de Mayo parade, okay, Mexican flag, fly it. You know what I mean? You're doing a heritage type thing. It's a parade. But if you're arguing, hey, I want to stay in America because I couldn't provide for my children, or the cartels ran me out, or whatever it was about Mexico, then to raise and fly Mexican flag seems kind of ridiculous to me. The logic there just doesn't jive. Burqueños and Chicanos have no place. Too brown for America, too white for Mexico. We're used to being outcasts. At least I am. I don't know. I don't feel like that no more, bro. I don't think that there's so much of that anymore. Well, listen, I'll tell you this. My whole time in the Pinta, at least in Arizona, so I know that different joints are different, obviously, right? But in Arizona, the Chicanos and the Paisas did not get along. We lived together. We sat in chow together. It was always considered together, but there was always that underlying tension. And they had words for us. They called us plásticos. And, like we're fake Mexicans. We weren't real Mexican. They had different words, right? And we had words for them, which everybody knows. And eventually it blew up, and there was actually straight out war for about 6 or 7 years in the state joint, where people were actually dying if you were, one or the other. And I think that, but I think, and I think we've gotten past that, yet I think there's still, I think it's a little more hidden now, but I still think it's there. I still think people are like, oh, they think that we think we're better than them because we're from here, and we think that they're not as sophisticated as us because they're from there. You know what I mean?
But again, that's stupid, because they come here. Oh, you guys are fake Mexicans. Then go to Mexico and be a Mexican there. Like, you have a whole country for yourself. Go there then. But you want to come here and say I'm not Mexican enough. Like, get out of my face. Like, you're crazy.
Plásticos was a big one, and then Tony said, pochos.
I've been called coconut.
Yeah.
All through high school, even sometimes as an adult. I don't care. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
I know I don't want to go there. I know I never want to go there. I wouldn't want to live there. And that's just the bottom line. And they can hate me for that. I don't care. But they're here saying it to me. Why'd you leave there then? If you're so Mexican and you're so then go there. Go there to your country then.
Yeah. I think the ones that truly, truly want to be here and just want to work and just want to raise their kids, I say fight to stay. Whether you win it or
not off Burqueño social and not off of my social, okay?
Well, I don't know if Burqueño social is real. I don't know.
No.
Puro pedo. T-Rilla said, Grillo, what's up, brother? How you doing, T-Rilla? Patricia Gonzalez said they feel self-confidence. Yes, that's what it is, self-confidence. Yeah. You get that the kids with
Oh.
learning and stuff. Self-confidence, absolutely.
And kids definitely need confidence.
Yeah.
Adults need some type of confidence.
Absolutely.
I think you have too much confidence at times. Sometimes you're a little too confident. You need to calm down. But kids definitely, they need that. They need to put their head up high and say, "Oh, I did this. I'm proud of myself." And what?
Why do I need to what?
Because sometimes you're a little overconfident and it's annoying.
Overconfident about
Just
what?
about little things. I don't like it. Like you always tell me you're lucky to have me, and ooh, look at me. And I'm
Well,
just
you
like,
are.
See, calm down.
That's not confidence. It's a fact.
See, okay.
Tony G said, Cricks, this weekend is probably going to be crazy with Iran promising revenge on USA and the no king, no ICE protest across the USA. Yeah, we'll see, brother. We'll see what happens, man. It's going to be, yeah. I want to see what happens with these protests, the no king thing and all that. It's, did you see today, right? They detained that senator. So there's a lot going on, man. There's a lot going on for sure. It sucks though, you know what I'm saying? Because if you're truly about the country, this is obviously not the way to go. You know what I mean? I wish they could just get together and figure it out. I know there'll always be disagreements, but it doesn't have to be so goddamn, so divisive. You know. Tony G said, "Don't worry, Joanne. We will raise the money to get you back ASAP when ICE comes for you."
Oh, you do that.
Paisas called Chicanos pochos. I hate that shit. Yeah, pochos. Yeah, pochos is a big one, and plásticos. Plásticos was one I always heard. They were always, I mean, that was one of the biggest ones that I always heard that were plastic, were fake. You know what I mean?
But then they're here trying to be fake with us.
Yeah.
So it's like,
and the messed up part is most of them have kids that were born here. So like, I don't know. It's again, and then here's the thing. It's not. It's usually not. I don't know how to put it. So I'm talking about the paisas from the Pinta. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different class of paisa. It's not really, the normal ones that are really just coming here to work and stuff that look down on us that way. I don't think. But it was definitely like the Pinta was definitely very, very divisive between us for years and years. Porque said, not here either. Our prisons are 80% Hispanic, so Paisas and Chicanos are the majority. There has always been a divide here. Unfortunately, today it's more mixed culture. Yeah, I think it's gotten better for sure. Agent Orange said, Tony G, and with no immigrants to volunteer for service, the deportation supporters are in for a rude awakening when the draft gets activated, especially when Iran goes hot. Yeah, we're gonna have to see what happens with that Iran stuff, bro. Serio. I mean, maybe if they offered, like, if something were to happen, right? I'm gonna, we're kind of talking about far-fetched stuff. Maybe if some war starts or something, right? But if they were to offer, hey, you can get your citizenship, go war, you know what I mean? Go fight. It might not be a bad idea, you know what I mean? I mean,
no, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, a lot of people wouldn't, but some people would. And I'm not saying exclusively. I mean, you'd still have.
If they did do it, then they should automatically, and their entire family.
Yeah, you earn it. Well, not entire family.
I think their entire family.
Well, entire as in what? Bring your cousins into,
No, your immediate family.
Yeah,
and maybe even your mother and your father and the mother-in-law and father, something like that.
Yeah.
Because you fought for families here, then you should be able to, your whole family.
Yeah. I mean, again, if you earn it, you earn it, and so I think that would be a good way to do it. That I think maybe, hopefully, everybody could agree on. Just who knows? Burkina said this guy.
Yeah, this guy. I tell you guys.
She's a hater, bro. Don't believe this stuff she says. She tries to put me down too much.
I don't put you down.
Yeah.
You're too confident.
No, you
have this confidence in you.
You made me sad.
Really?
It's all right.
You're such a liar, I swear.
Tony G said, "No, I didn't." What senator? What happened? Brother. I can't. I can't name it. I was driving and I heard. I had my YouTube going or something going, and they were talking about it. If you Google it real fast, something should pop up about it. Senator detained today. They were saying that Trump had the senator detained. So I don't know the actual. I doubt that. I'm sure it was probably who knows. I don't know. But if you Google it, something will pop up. It should. Burkeni said, if I bought it fair and square, it shouldn't be stolen from me.
Exactly. Thank you, sir.
See, if it's Burqueños now, just because it's no longer that 2-year-old.
That's it. I agree, 100%.
Tony G said they need to arrest Soros and his son. They the ones funding the destruction of USA. USA number one. So you think so, Soros? Hey, did you guys see that? They were trying to put. So then people that went and handed out. There was a guy that went and handed out the biometric mask, and they were trying to say that it was coming from because they sell those at Walmart, and that they were trying to say that it was the Walmart heir, the lady that had probably handed those out or something. But I think later they found out it was a brown beret that he pulled up and handed out a bunch of biometric masks. They were like helmets with masks, but they're biometric, so it means they can't get your facial they can't do facial recognition on you and shit. Mm-hmm. But the dummy should have probably wore one while he was handing that out, so they couldn't figure out who he was, right? I guess, doesn't take a genius to do all the stuff they're doing.
Yeah, I guess not.
Krusty, what's up, brother?
Krusty, my friend.
He said, Órale, Grillo and Giovanna, I send my love and respect. Hit the like.
Oh, thank you.
What's up, brother?
I'll think about hitting the like.
Yeah, I haven't hit that like yet. I gotta see.
I don't like some of the stuff that's been going on here.
I gotta see how Giovanna acts.
I've been told that my ear covers up half the screen, and this one laughed about it, and he's a little confident over here. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not one of the best ones.
I gotta see what she's up to, how she's acting, and then I might hit the like, but I don't know. I got something stuck in my goddamn tooth, man, the whole fucking time. Agent Orange said, immigrants.
Time for dentures.
Got something stuck in my tooth. Not my fucking tooth is falling out. What are you talking about? Dentures. Agent Orange. Immigrants get permanent residency for joining armed services. Do they really? Now?
I think they should.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can dig that. Soldiers have up to 5 dependent, including parents and grandparents.
Oh,
what? See?
I like it.
Okay. Rascal, what's up, fool?
Oh, hello.
Homie Hangout is in the house. He's a saludos, bro, late. To you and yours. He's in Cali, so what time is it out there? 11 o'clock, bro?
That's still late.
Yeah, it's past your bedtime, bro. You're a little too old for this stuff. What's going on, bro?
Did you have to get up to go pee?
Me?
No, him.
Oh, he got up to go pee and logged in real quick. What you doing, Rask? How you doing, brother? What do you think, Rascal? I think me and you need to get on here and talk, man.
Rascal's kind of more on the hippie side. Think
so? What do you think about these? What's the thing that stands out to you about this? The riots and stuff, Rask. Big motherfucker said, but yet some of them still end up deported. Wild. Yeah. Yeah. It's hard. As long as it ain't me, bro. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. Rascal said 12:10 and I'm in bed, bro. 12:10. It's 12:10 here too. Oh, we're on Cali time right now?
No, they're on our time.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Our time never changes.
That's true.
Arizona and Hawaii are the only 2 places that never change.
Yeah, Cali follows us.
They just want to be everything.
Just kidding. Just kidding. Don't start talking shit, guys. Patricia Gonzalez said it's midnight. Is it? Yeah, over here too. 12:11 right here. Nah, but yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know. There's so many different, there's so much shit in this world that sucks. But I tell you what, I think one at a time, you gotta eventually, I think things will start being addressed and things will get better. I hope. I mean, you have to hope. You know what I mean? I definitely know that my mission, Jovan and I will continue to do what we do and say what we say. Um, I hope to get this nonprofit all the way off the ground and start doing what we're talking about. And that's all we can do as individuals, you know what I mean? Um, but there's so much bad shit in this fucking world now. Agent Orange said 2 unmarked trucks box in a suspect that assaulted a federal agent and threw tear gas canisters in vehicle, knowing 2 infants were in the back seat. Yeah, that's tough. That's fucked
See,
up.
that's tough. But again, where did they get them? What happened?
2 unmarked trucks box in a suspect that assaulted a federal agent through tear gas canisters in vehicle, knowing 2 infants were in the backseat.
1, why were you attacking a federal agent? 2, why would you put your kids in that position?
Well, that's my question. What were those his infants in his car? While I mean, did he attack somebody with his kids in his car? Because I think that's, I mean, bro, you can't cry foul when you're using your own kids as a fucking.
It's like if me and Manuel went to go rob a store and we had our kid in the back, and then they.
Yeah, you can't use them as a shield and then cry about it. I mean, I don't know, bro. It depends on the situation. Like I'm not clear on it, but if you're saying that he was in his car with his kids in the back seat, oh no, during the riot, okay.
Why are we at the riot?
But I mean, you can get caught up just driving on the street. But if he assaulted the cop, though, that's what I'm not getting. With the kids in the car? Oh no. Rascals.
If there's riots down my street, I'm staying in my house. I'm staying in my house. I'm not going anywhere, or I'm gonna
but some of that
need to get away.
Some of that stuff pops up. Like if you're driving home from work and all of a sudden, like they're on the side of the roads and then bam, you know what I mean? Like I can understand some shit happening. What I don't get is, did he assault them and have the kids in the car with him? Like that's what I'm not understanding. Rascal said, what stands out is the escalation by government. It serves the interests of the left and right to have this showdown. Yeah, definitely. It, again, like I said, I've said many times, it's unfortunate that they don't care about country, they care about party. But kind of what we've been talking about throughout this is the waving of the Mexican flag during the, while they're doing what they're doing. I just think that that's counterproductive, and you're giving the other side a lot of ammunition when you do that. You can't say, I love this country, I'm here to work, I raise my kids here, this is my country, this is where I want to be, and then fly the flag of another country. It just seems very counterproductive.
Somebody else's social so that you can work. You're not using someone else's social to work. Like,
yeah. Well, that's a different argument too.
But yeah, too. Like, because the argument is they just want to be here to work. Yeah, off of my social, off of Puqueño social. Like, I get it, they're a nice guy and everything, but not off of my back. I'm sorry, no. Like, I'm just not for it.
No, well, B said they're all called green card warriors. That's so we can all pick anecdotes that serve our political interests. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the arguments. Obviously anybody can make an argument that sounds, and they usually do. Listen, both sides have, valid points, and that's why it's such a hard, because it's hard to debate, because even though you may feel a certain way, when you hear the argument against, you're like, well, yeah, you're right. And then on the other side, the argument is, hey, whatever it is, and the other side can be, you're right. You know what I mean? Again, if you're open-minded and honest about it, both sides have valid points. But again,
they don't want to.
When you have those hardliners that are just about party, not about the country, not about what's right or wrong, none of that, and they're picking they're trying to find ammunition, I think don't give it to them. Don't go fly that thing where they can take a picture of you with it, with burning behind you and smoke, and throw it on the fucking front news. You know what I mean? Then you just gave them. That's all anybody right now. That's all anybody's talking about anymore right now. For the last fucking few days, that's the only thing people have been talking about. That these people are flying some other country's flag on this country. It's a foreign invasion. All these buzzwords. Now, no one is actually talking about the main issues, and I think that again, that's why they gave them. It was an easy layup. Motherfucker said maybe the butterfly effect is real. Only in this case, I believe it was Jovan flapping her ears, and now the world's going to hell.
Oh wow.
Agent Orange said the day after they tracked him down.
Oh, well, then there's that.
Yeah, bro. I don't.
Sorry, I don't. Sorry, I don't feel sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. That one's that's a tough one.
I'm sorry that the kids have parents like that are being irresponsible. I feel sorry for those kids that their parents put them in that situation. So.
Yeah, and I think stuff like that happens every day. I mean, my house got raided. They brought Jovan out and had made gunpoint and had her.
Yeah, but we're two single people. It didn't get raided when our son was.
No, but what I'm trying to say is you weren't part of my shit, and yet you got caught up, and so it's my fault for bringing that to the house. And
yeah, it is your fault. Are you sorry?
No.
No, are you sorry?
No.
You should be.
No.
You should. Okay, now you're gonna do my back.
Are you sorry?
Sorry for what?
Because
you took a chance on you?
No, because you knew exactly who I was. You met. Listen, bullshit. We've had this conversation before.
We're not having this conversation again.
You can't meet someone in jail who is a Mexican Mafia member, who is
not the air quotation marks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's allegedly. And then who is doing things that are bad.
Can you stop using air quotation marks?
Allegedly. And then what? You thought I was going to get out and become a lawyer?
The doctor, actually.
Bullshit. Doctor. You knew what the fuck I was doing. It's your fault.
Oh, shut up.
And then you didn't try to stop me. That's even more your fault.
You're a man.
Are you sorry?
Figure it out.
Are you sorry? Are you sorry that I did?
Your mother and your father?
Yes, I had mom issues. Oh. Fuck. Ernie, you said, Jovan, look at it this way. If people are using your name in social, that means you're popular, a Tolleson celebrity.
I don't want to be popular, sir. It's causing me a lot of problems.
You said a Tolleson celebrity.
No, never that.
Agent Orange said, but after surveillance agents saw entire family load up in car, no marked police car was used to pull over, just boxes in suspect vehicles. Yeah, they probably had a better way of doing that because, usually even for like normal raids, they at least try to figure that out and get the suspect outside and they look into their, if it's going to be a felony type stop and all that. Rascal said, I have no problem with waving the Mex flag. Remember, it's not immigrants protesting, it's mostly citizens, but this is racially motivated enforcement, so people are claiming solidarity with the targeted. I hear that, bro, but the targeted are saying that they left that country for a better life and they want to stay here. So when you wave that, why not wave the American flag and say, hey, man, we're American. We want to stay here. We love this country. We've been working here for 20 years. We have kids here. And, again, I understand what you're saying. And I'm not saying that being proud of your heritage and putting a Mexican flag in your room or your house or your license plate or, during the, Cinco de Mayo parade is a bad thing. That's all good and dandy. I think, though, in this situation, when you're making this argument that this is the country I want to be in because it's given me everything I am and it's, I'm able to feed my family with it, then to fly the flag of the country, you fly the flag of the country you left seems counterproductive. It just adds to the argument and you're giving the other side that argument. I'm not against the flag per se. I mean,
well, I am. I don't like it. If you're here, you're here. You left that place for a reason. I couldn't go to Mexico again, rascal. I couldn't go to Mexico, fly the flag, start rioting, use other people's names to work with. I couldn't do all that. I'd be dead. You know what I mean? And if I left the USA to go to a different country and then still wave my flag, it's like, why are you here then? You know what this kind of reminds me of a little bit? I have a cousin. And my uncle and aunt, my uncle raised her since she was 4 years old. Her dad, she knew her dad, but he never paid child support. He was never there for her. He'd see her once in a while, but my uncle raised my cousin since she was 4 years old. Loved her, loves her kids, treats them like his grandkids and everything. You know what she does in her 20s? She goes and gets her dad's last name tatted on her.
Yeah.
That's what this reminds me of. Like, you ungrateful. Like, you give credit where credit is due. Like, this is that situation that reminds me of. You know, Mike, that's what I'm talking about. It's just like, really? And she says, well, because that's who I am and that's my last. I don't care. This man raised you since you were 4. Tucked you in at night, you know, was the best. And she even says it. Yeah, he's the best dad ever. He's great to me and my mom and the best guy ever. And you still, because that's a little part of you, you know what I mean? Give credit where credit is due. Give credit where credit is due. This reminds me of that type of situation a little bit. It's like, go home then. You have your whole country. You love it. It's so great. You're so proud. Go then. Just go back. Go away. Bye.
Volcano said both sides have valid points. Play die hard from both sides. Double down when you give them those valid points. Yeah. Rascal said there's a long history in this country of immigrants flying the flag of their home country. It's just a talking point of the right. But, and here's the thing, bro. I agree. But if you know that that's a talking point of the right, why give him that? We're talking about a psychological war. So don't give them that layup. I'm not saying that, again, I'm not against the flag as a symbol. I'm against giving your opposition an argument. You know what I mean? Because that's all it's become now. That's right now, that is the conversation in this country. You know, and again, it was an obvious, it was obviously going to get to this point because it's gotten to this point before. Big Motherfucker said, but how many people are just using this as an excuse to run around like assholes and do whatever they want? That's always, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
They just start destroying shit. And those are those dickheads that just want to be, you know, they don't care about the cause, about the issues. And most of them aren't truly the ones that are affected by it. You know what I mean? They're not the fathers that are working at the, you know, construction sites, feeding their families.
With my number.
Yeah, they're just the assholes that want to run around and destroy shit. Francisco said, Jovan, even if you get chased by ICE, use your ears to fly away.
Oh, wow.
Rascal said, people were flying American flags when they rushed the Capitol and killed the cop and called for the death of Vice President. Was that American?
No, it wasn't American, but you're in America, so you wave the American flag. In Mexico, cartels and stuff, they all have Mexican flags on them. That's not something Mexico should be doing, but they do. But you're here, you live here, you want to be here, then act like you want to be here just a little bit. God dang. Is it too much to ask?
Yeah. Rascal said, because it is the U.S. government that is causing them harm. And again, it's not the immigrants protesting, it's the Americans. So they're critical of their home. But it's not, bro. I hear what you're saying, but it's half of the American government. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people that are not Mexican or that are American, and they stand with that cause. There's some people that believe that there should be, you know, they should just give them amnesty. You know, there are people that believe that. There's a lot of people that stand with them that are American. And so all I'm saying is it almost feels like you're ungrateful when you're doing that. It's a symbol. Whether it's true or not, you know, who can say? but the argument can be had that that's the case. And all I'm saying is don't give them that argument. It's an easy move not to do that. That's it. If you're playing, this game, this psychological game, it's very easy to say, no, if I do this, they're going to say that. Whether it's true or not, it doesn't matter. You're giving them an easy one. And that's all I'm saying is like, just don't do that. Don't give them an easy one. Argue the points, debate the issues, figure it out, but don't change the narrative, because that's what you've done by giving them that, whether you meant it that way or not. But it's easy to predict that that's what that argument would end up being if you do that. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Heart Life said, good night, y'all. All right, brother. He says, sup, rascal. I hear you just saying this is manufactured crisis as talking point is not actually that meaningful. It's racist, dog whistles. I hear you just saying this is a manufactured crisis as a talking point. It's not actually that meaningful. It's racist, dog whistles. Mexican immigrants assimilate faster than any other ethnic group. The immigrants are pro-America. Yes, it is a layup, though. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Well, and a lot of them are actually, I mean, if you watch, like I was watching the other day, you watch the Spanish station, a lot of them are going out there saying, that's not us. We're not doing that. Stop doing that. Don't do that. You don't represent me when you do that. And they're kind of seeing that. Now, I don't believe the fact that they're, that it's the paid, the right is paying people to go out there and cause this. I don't believe that. I believe that these are maybe people that truly want to add to the, they want to help. I'm saying they're not helping. And that's the problem. You know what I mean? And most people, when you think about it, would realize that that's not going to help. Agent Orange said, too short, Sid. Don't give them an excuse to show them your ignorance. Too short.
Too short.
Too short. Short dog. The ghetto.
Oh, the rapper.
Mm-hmm. See that?
Oh, he's so wise.
See that though? I know some shit.
Oh, you know a rapper's lines. Calm down.
You calm down, bitch. I'll slap the shit out of you. See that, guys?
That's right. That's why you smile, because you know real quick. Yeah.
Mark Gonzalez said, I don't care what anyone thinks. I'm American and proud of it. Yeah, I mean, and I think a lot of them are too, to be honest. I do. I just think, listen, I had an uncle. I've told this story before. My mom's brother in 1994, right before I went to prison. I went to prison in 95. Him, his wife, and his 3 kids moved out here and came to live with us at my mom's house, right? Him and his wife and his 3 kids were in one room in our house. And that was my mom's brother. And he did it because he couldn't survive in Mexico anymore. He was a computer technician. In 1994, he was a computer technician. He came out here and he got a job in Arizona. There was a restaurant called Pancho's Mexican Food. It was a buffet where you raised this little flag and they would come and they'd replace
you don't
your.
have to tell them all that. It was a restaurant.
Just hold on. It was a restaurant. I can tell them whatever the fuck I want. You calm yourself. See that? Checking this one. And then anyway, so that was the red. And he worked there as a busboy. And he made more money doing that than he did as a computer technician in Mexico. It sustained his life with his kids. You know what I mean? And I know that a lot of people feel gratitude for that. He eventually went back to Mexico with his kids. He doesn't live out here anymore, but he did for a while. And I remember he was grateful and happy, and you know what I mean? He thanked us for allowing, that's my mom's brother. So my mom did it. And my grandma, so many people, right? My grandma built a house in Mexico by cleaning houses in Arizona. I know that most of them are grateful for the chance and the opportunity. I just think, again, first of all, there's a way to do it. You can do it right. You know what I mean? It can be done. And I get it that, some of it is very difficult, but again, we as Americans can't go to any other country and just go get a job and go live there. They also have immigration laws, and I think that has to be respected. And so again, I think there's valid points on both sides. And I don't think you can just bring it down to talking points of right and left and all that. That comes back down to party and not country. Scrimey at night said, I didn't know how many white people there are in Mexico that are straight. Ched? What's Ched, brother? I don't know what Ched is. But there's a lot of white people in Mexico. Mexico City, the majority of the people in Mexico City, the actual city, Distrito Federal, are white looking, blue-eyed, blonde-haired people. That because of the Spanish blood that they have in them. Spain is a European country. Burkina said, let's look at it on the East Coast point of view. They are waving Palestinian flags out there.
Oh, them too.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Rascal said, I do not agree that strategically it's wiser to have U.S. flags. I just don't demonize those who fly the Mexican flag, as I believe most protesting are American. Oh, I'm not demonizing. I just think it's counterproductive, and they're not adding to their. I think it's hurting their point.
I feel like it's a slap in the face.
Yeah,
I do. I just do. Like, how dare you?
Yeah, I just think it's
That's just how I feel.
Yeah, I hear you, and I somewhat agree, but I'm more of the point to the where I think you're undermining your own argument. Scrimey at night said, I saw more white people in Mexico than dark-skinned Mexicans. Yeah, definitely. There's a lot. Scrimey at night said, I'd say Asians get with the program faster than Latinos. Could be true. Adrian Aguilar said, you've been to Tucson? When I was young, I went to Tucson a couple times, and I was in prison. I was in Tucson. I was in Santa Rita, and that's it. I was in Santa Rita for about a year at one point.
Ask me if I've been to Tucson.
Have you been to Tucson?
No, my parents wouldn't let me.
Why?
Because we couldn't go to Tucson.
Why?
We didn't go to those outer cities. They're dangerous.
Tucson's not dangerous.
It is.
It's like a little Phoenix.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I've been there. I went there a couple times. But not. I don't really know anybody out there. Well, I did after I went to prison. I met a bunch, but I didn't know anybody as a kid, so it wasn't like a lot of spending time. But I did do a year in the joint out there. Rascal said, good points, and that is my experience too regarding immigrants. They are not in the street throwing rocks or flying flags. Yeah, I don't think it's definitely not. I mean, I think it's people that want to help. They're just not helping, Patricia Gonzalez said, good night. Take care. All right, Patricia, have a good night. Appreciate you. Big motherfucker said, watch it, Maria. Can you say the state of
I think if they want to help them, they should take them and hide them in their home and let them use their social to go work, get a at-home job. Let them come stay with them. Take the chance, you know what I mean? If you really want to help them.
Can you say the state of Tlaxcala as well? Many of us are light skinned with dark features. Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, there's actually a whole I'm not sure exactly where it's at, but there's a whole part of Mexico where there's black Mexicans, like they're black people, like African. What would they be called? African Mexicans?
Afro-Latino?
Instead of African American, they're African Mexicans.
Oh.
Because Mexico actually abolished slavery before the United States. So a lot of them they escaped to Mexico and started lives out there. And so there's Mexican black people that were like, that originally were in the United States as slaves, went out there, had kids, and now their kids they're Mexican. Ernie said they can't go back home. United States has a drug problem and it affects Mexico. Cartels go to war trying to supply the drug users. Yeah, I mean, it's the supply and demand. his shit. Homie Hangout said there's a history here of liberal Americans taking up the cause of minorities in ways the minorities would not sanction. Yeah. Love you guys both for real and love you are having this combo. Right back at you, brother. Ya sabes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where was the National Guard on January 6th? Yeah, right. Yeah, that was weird. That was a whole.
What happened, Jenny?
Remember when they attacked the Capitol?
Well, there's a whole story about that.
Yeah, there's a few.
I saw this guy that was supposed to talk and at the Capitol, and it's a whole thing. It was a setup. It was kind of crazy. Also, that's a whole nother time, a whole nother thing. I gotta show you the video about it.
Yeah. Big Muffins, the truth is your parents never brought you to Tucson because it's too close to the border.
No, sir.
They were just protecting you from deportation.
No, sir, they didn't. They just didn't want us out there in that area.
He said they were just protecting you from deportation, loser.
Not loser. I take it somebody lives in Tucson.
Porque es el Afro-Mexicano, Asian Mexicanos también. Yeah, absolutely. Rascal said Guerrero has a ton of black Mexicans, not just from slaves. The Mexican first 2 or 3 presidents were negros. Were they really? I didn't know that. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Rascal, so he said big motherfucker, he laughing. When said big motherfucker gacho, he's laughing. Big motherfucker's laughing.
Funny. Don't laugh at his stuff. No, he ain't funny.
Mark Gonzaga said, I'm conservative. I'm not a backstabbing liberal. Well, let's. Well,
hi, Mark.
Now Rascal's going to say he's liberal. He's not a backstabbing conservative. Now what?
Rascal, you are a little hippie, but you know, I like that about you.
It's
all right.
I'm a little of both, bro. I honestly believe that I see points on both sides, and I'm not about party. I'm just not. I think that's almost tantamount to gangbanging.
Oh, you lost me there. But
what?
You're not about party. Shut up.
I'm not. Republicans or Democrats?
Yeah. Shut up.
You shut up. I'll slap the shit out of you, fucking conservative little bitch.
Oh my god. I lean more right, obviously, but you know, I try to I put myself down the middle, but sometimes I do lean more right. I do love that I'm from here. I do love this country. I like the American flag, and I feel like sometimes if people wave it, they get upset. It's like, I don't care. I would never want to be anywhere else. I just don't. I'm so lucky and proud, and I'm glad that I was born and raised here, and that my parents were here, and generations after generations. I know it's bad here. I know it's crazy here. I know it's corrupt here sometimes. I know it. I still wouldn't want to be anywhere else. I'm sorry. I just wouldn't. I don't care.
I'm with you there.
I'm not trying to go anywhere else. I don't want to be anywhere else. And I don't care who wants to come here. Just do it the right way. Don't do it off of Burgueño social, please. He's already had enough trouble with IRS. I've had enough trouble. Please don't do it off of our back. And we're good. That's all. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Agent Orange said people lost their lives during. I'm gonna have to cut some of this stuff out, huh?
What?
Me talking crazy to you like that? Because people that don't know us are gonna come on.
You're not
and
gonna cut anything out because that's who you are. That's the type of person you are. That's the type of person you are. You're not going to cut anything out.
What type of person am I?
That's the type of person you are.
What type?
That type.
What type?
You're, like I said, overconfident. You're a little too ahead of yourself. Calm down. Relax. Relax.
And she thinks I'm going to marry her?
Oh, you guys, tomorrow's the day.
Oh, yeah, we're getting married tomorrow.
By the way. Oh, by the way, guys, we're getting married tomorrow. Tomorrow's the day that we actually met, which was 23 years ago, was the day that I actually walked into the jail and met him face to face. And that's when my life took a turn
for the better.
For hell for a minute, but then it turned right back into, goodness.
Yeah.
I don't ever regret it. and I would do it all over again because it means having my son. If I had to go through all that just to have my son, I would do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, tomorrow's the day.
Yeah. Congratulate me. I mean, yeah.
You don't have to if you don't want
I
to.
mean, people lost their
No,
dog.
seriously.
Purqueña said I went back and forth today. All of it just has me tired and worn out. You know you want to. Don't act like that. You ain't tough.
What did he say? He's tired and what? Oh, because of the IRS.
He said he went the IRS.
What?
He said I went back and forth today. All of it just has me tired and worn out. We're talking about back and forth, like the two agree with both sides.
Oh yeah.
Rascal said, I'm not a Democrat. All that woke shit is lame, and I don't trust big government, but conservatives vote against their financial interests over stereotypes. Yeah, I just think, again, the party thing is what I think fucks it all up.
You know, I really haven't been into all that stuff. You know what I've been going through, like a rabbit hole down, is like foods and
cancer causing
products
stuff
and stuff like that. You know that there was 18 sunscreens that like are non-toxic, that are like natural, and I couldn't find any of those 18 different products at Walmart yesterday. They didn't have it.
Yeah,
it was insane. It's just, I don't know, I've been going down this thing about like food and, you know, the toxins and what causes this, what causes that, what helps, what doesn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah. eVisions TV said, Rascal, salute.
That's been my kick lately, huh?
Yeah, it has. Yeah. Man, we've been trying. We're getting like the chemical free eggs. What are they called?
Oh, like the organic eggs.
Yeah, organic eggs.
That are not they don't have like the steroids,
hormones and
all that stuff in it. You know, just we can't change everything. It's it's overwhelming. It is. Like, you know, we got natural peanut butter ingredients, says peanuts. Mm-hmm. Jelly, you could read the ingredients. But of course he's putting it on white bread that's not good for you. You know what I mean? But 2 out of those 3 things are good for us. You know what I mean? It's just the little things that baby steps. But it's very overwhelming. And it's also like some things can be misleading just because it says, you know, sugar-free or fat-free or natural flavors. What does that mean? What? Yeah. And so it's overwhelming. So we're just baby steps, you know, here and there.
Francisco said, see, Jovan, that's why you need to get real papers. Golden State contributor said, congratulations, felicidades. Thank you, brother.
I don't think it's been a long time coming.
Appreciate it.
We should have did this years ago, but.
Yep. Rascal said, on that note, though, I'm going to bed, gente, but respects to you all, whether we agree on this or that. I know you all want the best for the USA. Yep,
absolutely.
For sure.
I definitely want the best for people and for their kids. Again, I've seen it. I've been there. I've seen it. I've told you guys before. I've rented a house in my name for somebody that was illegal, so that her and her kid can live there because she escaped, you know, El Salvador, and
she's living in her car.
She was living in her car. I get it, you know, but I kept telling her, like, you need to do this the right way. If they take you, what's your child going to do? You know, or what if they take you when you're at work? What's going to happen to your child? Like, trust me, I've been there. I know. I'm not just a total crazy bee. You know what I mean? I do feel for people.
Yeah.
But, you know, again, it's a lot of things are terrible, you know.
Agent Orange says she's using you for your papeles, Grillo.
No, sir. No, it's the other way around. It's the other way around.
Ernie Yu said Tlaxcala people with dark feature, also known as pinches indios. Oh. Francisco BP said, oh, never mind. You tying the knot will keep you here.
No, sir. Not me. I'm doing it for him. I'm doing it for him.
Golden State contributor. I've been wearing the ball and chain for 23 years.
Yeah. Congratulations. That's us too. I mean, we've been together for 23 years. Our son is going to be 22.
Yeah. We met June 13th. I think we met we talked on the phone for a little while
The
before
day
that.
that you saw me face to face,
Yeah.
fell in love was June 13th of 2002.
Yeah.
So you're welcome. That's when your life changed.
The day she came to visit and sat on the other side of the glass
and changed your life forever. You're very welcome.
and got up and left crying.
No. You're welcome. I changed your whole entire life. Like you're so lucky for me. I swear. You're welcome. You're so welcome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Seriously. I mean, you didn't. You're so lucky. I swear.
Golden State contributor said, "I'm an American first."
Yeah.
100%. Golden State said, "The most important person in the government is its citizen." Oh yeah. True. Yep. Hopefully, brother. Honestly, man, hopefully we can get it back to that. Because I think that a lot has gone away from that. What are you looking at, fool? What?
It looked like a crab.
Oh, that's quetzalcoatl.
Oh gosh.
Crab. You've seen my damn tattoo?
No, just from this end, it looked like a crab. I don't know what you got going on sometimes.
Golden State said, "Oh shit, Rascal's in here." Yeah, Rascal came to kick it for a little bit. Farmero said, "Plot twist, all this talk about socials and Jovan don't even have a real social."
First of all, sir, yes, I do. And it's been used. Go ask them.
Mark Gonzaga said, "I removed my comment, Cricket, out of respect for your podcast." What comment, brother? No, you don't have to remove nothing, bro.
It's okay. You could say whatever you want. If you really think that Manuel doesn't have his papers because he swam here and everything, you could definitely say whatever you want.
I don't think that's what he removed.
He did. His mom, he was on her back.
Oh, he said, "I'm conservative. I'm not a backstabbing liberal." Oh, I see.
No, you're okay.
Brother, everybody's welcome here, but both sides can talk shit. Listen, we're adults, Holmes. If somebody takes something like that serious, like, you know what I mean? Like, come on. We're all adults here. We can talk. We can agree to disagree. We can agree to agree. We can do all of that. I mean, if an individual isn't mature enough to have a normal conversation without getting in their feelings, then they shouldn't have these type of conversations. You're good, bro. I appreciate that, though. Francisco says, "Shoot, they just did a recall on organic eggs." Did they really?
Oh my God. Don't say that.
They got salmonella or some shit?
Oh, jeez. We've got to look at. Do you know how hard it is to like try to go
healthy,
natural, clean, and all that? Like it's so overwhelming. It's so like, oh my God. I'm telling you, I've been going through this for like weeks, and I think I kind of got into it because you guys know my dad has really bad diabetes, and they're about to cut off his foot and all that, and it's kind of like it's the sugar, and it's kind of, you know, and just processed food and all the crazy stuff that it does to us. And I just went down this rabbit hole, and that's kind of where it started, because I'm trying to help him, you know, but we get in little arguments because, again, he has to want to help himself. He'll do good for like 3 days and then say, "Okay, I'm going to reward myself." And it's like, no, you don't get to reward yourself. You have your whole life. You got diabetes. You don't get to have a piece of cake and ice cream because you were good for 3 days. It defeats the whole purpose, you know? So that's when I went through it all. And now we're just trying to make a little bit of a lifestyle change. Yeah. I mean, it's a little dent. It takes time, you know, and we're going to get there. It's got to change. You know, it sucks when we go to the store and we're like, "Oh my God, these eggs are freaking $8-10, and the other ones are like $4." But I'm like, I don't care. Yeah, we got to do it.
Burkina said, "Been down the same rabbit hole myself. Came up with a carrot. LOL. Now I'm healthy."
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
Jack Armenta said, 40 got put on the lista in 2011. He was my neighbor in Browning when he came back on his violation. DT got at me with the news. Is that right? See, I seen 40. I was actually, I got out the joint in 2015. And a few years later, once I started this YouTube stuff, 40 reached out to me. I guess he had saw me on it. So he reached out to me on Facebook. and I was out of town at the time. So I was like, "Oh, I'll be in town on Christmas, brother. I'll come see you." But me and 40 go way back to before all that. We were in Reining Unit back in 1995 and 6, and then we were in Metals together before they turned Metals into one of them crazy yards, and so we got separated then. But we were real close at that time. Me, him, and Chino, and a few other people, so when him and 40 got made, when him and Wildcat whacked a dude from California out there in Douglas, and it was during that little war happening going on, and I had heard about it, and then I seen 40 in Yuma when I was in Yuma getting out, and that was the last time. So when he reached out to me and I came back, he told me the story of what had happened. We hung out, and he was telling me what's up. He was doing good. He had a new baby. He was with some young kid, not young kid, I'm sorry, a younger girl. She was 40 is older than me. And at the time, at the time I was probably 40 at the time, 41. And he's like 4 years older than me, something like that, 3 years older than me. So he was already like 44, and his ruka was like 20. And they had a baby together. He had a brand new baby girl, I think. Maybe it was a baby boy. And I remember he had 3 other kids with his ex Margarita. And so we talked about, we went through it. He told me all about what had happened when he had went back, and they put him on the list and all that, but I couldn't exactly remember the thing. But 40 was he is a real good dude. I haven't talked to him for a little bit, but he's a real good dude. I like him. Noel B said, "Congratulations."
Oh,
Gracias, brother. Thank you. All jokes aside, yeah, it's gonna be cool, man. We're gonna get it done, and it's been a long time coming. Francisco BP said, "Dang, bro, Jovan over here tying the knot with a 23-year-old. Yeah, it's crazy, huh?"
First of all, he's almost 50, so let's start there.
Georgie said,
I got with an old guy.
"Yeah, right." Georgie said, "Yo, homie, skip. Hold on. I have a joke I would like to share. What is it, brother? Break it down." Big motherfucker said he saw your face to ear and stuck around, huh?
Really?
That's gonna say, "Wait, I thought I was invited to the wedding. What the fuck? We're not having a wedding yet. As soon as we have the party, we'll do it. But we're just doing a little quick thing at the courthouse. But when we do have our thing, we're definitely gonna have some invitees." Saludos, homie, said Rascal. The Golden State contributor said, "Buenas noches, homeboy. Enjoy your wedding day, and may you have a long, happy marriage full of joy and love and joy. Much love from Boyle Heights, Califas." Right,
thank you.
Right back at you, bro.
I don't think it's gonna. I mean,
Change
it's gonna
much?
be official and it's gonna have a paper, but I mean, it's 23 years, you guys. We have a 22-year-old son. It's not.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's gonna feel the same.
I appreciate it, brother, though. Thank you.
But yeah, thank you, guys.
And congratulations on yours. 23 years ain't no hop, skip, and a jump.
No, it ain't.
That's a long time, especially you've been out here the whole time.
I got lucky. He went away for a while. Thank you.
Talk about luck.
Thanks.
Yeah.
To chill for a little bit.
I didn't have to deal with that boca for years.
Sometimes I'm like, hey, why don't you go for the weekend or something? Go do something. Just go get away.
Sometimes I wouldn't even talk to her. I'd put my son on the phone.
True story. When we'd be fighting, he'd call and I'm like, what? Put my son on the phone. Fine. Just give the phone to my son.
Francisco VP said bird flu. Oh, bird flu, baby. On the organic ones. Hey, did you see they shut down Hickman Farms, bro, out here in Arizona? All their birds were getting bird flu and shit. And I think there's some parts of it that are open, but everything out there in Buckeye and stuff is shut down.
Oh my God, I'm gonna look up which ones have bird flu, and if it's the ones that we
got,
we gotta take them back.
Agent Orange said, but Congress is being silent instead of taking congressional action on California government and presidential decisions. Yeah, I saw the court today though. They ordered Trump to give up to give back basically the National Guard to the governor, I guess, or something like that. I'm not sure, but there was some kind of order today. I don't know. It sucks that all that is going on anyway, but it's going to continue, bro. There's so much divisiveness in this country. This is not anything new. I miss eating bat soup, said Georgie.
What the heck?
Bat soup?
Why?
You're talking about bat soup?
Miss it? Why are you eating it in the first place?
Like a bat? A real bat?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
You can't drink that.
There are people that do that. There's people that eat turtle soup too.
Well, I've heard of that.
And dog and shark and all that.
I've heard of that too. Agent Orange said, don't read the ingredients that make something organic. You might consider not eating organic.
No, I know. That's why it's, just because it says it's clean, just because it says organic, just because it says it's cage free, it's all different. You have to like really look into it.
Yeah.
Again, they try to get you with those words, like natural or clean or sugar-free or whatever. It's like whatever.
No added sugar, but it's got fucking 100 grams of natural sugar. Right. Agent Orange said, don't read the... Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I already read that. All jokes aside, congrats to you both, said Big Motherfucker. Thank you, brother.
Oh, thank you. He's very lucky.
Noel B said, good night, everyone. Good night, brother.
You're welcome.
Georgie said, the joke is, why can't Michael Jackson be within 500 feet of any school in America? Why, bro? Francisco EP said, COVID soup. Oh. Bat soup is great for the wings, said Burqueño. Oh, Georgie said, because he's dead.
Oh, you know what, you guys? I used to really think Michael was
guilty
and crazy. Mm-hmm. And now I kind of feel bad for him. Now I don't think...
After you've watched some stuff?
Not after I've watched some stuff. It's just... I think that they turned on him. I think that they painted him out to be something that he wasn't. I think it's wrong what they did to him. I think he really did have like the love for kids. I mean, yes, it was a little weird, but
you don't think it was child molestation?
No, now I don't.
Honestly,
now I don't.
Yeah, I don't know. I've kind of tried to look
just
into
because,
it.
They say about he owned Sony, he owned the Beatles catalog, he owned this, and they wanted it, and I don't know, they made him crazy. They put up, I don't know, I feel sorry for him now. So I have changed my mind on that now. So I am on that.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard that too, that like the same type of stuff. I don't know. I've looked at, I don't know. I haven't looked into it good enough to make up my mind. But I think sometimes it's like where there's smoke, there's fire, Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And there has been, I don't know, they say that the parents manipulate kids, and I don't know. That's we're going on a whole nother rabbit hole.
I know. I don't think it's true anymore. Yeah. I used to, but I don't.
He was weird though. That's the only thing I do know. Burkina said, I try to buy foods that only have 1 or 2 ingredients, whole foods. I really don't do the organic stuff.
Yeah. I mean, if you can't really pronounce what the ingredients are, or if you know what the ingredients are and you can look it up and, oh, okay, it's supposed to help for this or that, then, we're trying, but again, it's baby steps. You know what I mean? It's like we're trying.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I drink Coke Zero, but I know that it's still not good for you. I know it has something in it that can cause cancer and all that stuff. I know that but I do like the taste of it. If I want a soda, it's going to be a zero. But so it's like,
yeah,
we're little by little. We can't just go cold turkey. It's overwhelming. It really is. But we have changed. Like I've changed like my shampoo, my deodorant. Trying to get away from like aluminum, especially like foil, and try to do like natural, deodorants and things like that. Just a little thing.
What was that fast food restaurant that stopped doing red and yellow?
Oh, In-N-Out.
In-N-Out.
Yeah, they're stopping that.
So In-N-Out Burger is the first restaurant in the United States that is doing away with using
The red dye. And yellow.
red dye and yellow dye, which is already illegal in other countries.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe we're making steps in the right direction.
I mean,
We may not live to see it, but hopefully things will be better for our kids and grandkids and stuff. We can hope, you know. Ernie said, "What does a nearsighted gynecologist and a puppy have in common?"
Oh, what?
A wet nose.
Bro.
Agent Orange said, "Mexico created an AIDS prevention tool, nopalitos. Red 5 has been linked to autism," said Burqueño. That's another thing, bro. When I was a kid, I don't even think I ever heard that damn word.
Well, we've said it on here. It was like 1 in 80,000 back in like 1980. Now it's 1 out of every 36 kids that they're autistic.
That's crazy.
And again, I do believe a lot of it's like the vaccines, the foods that we eat, all of it, everything that you're putting into your body, onto your skin.
Mm-hmm.
It's but again, it's overwhelming when you try to go down that road. You know what I mean? And like I said, we're doing the little things that we can. We're doing the best that we can. But I mean, we're still going to go to Jack in the Box. You know,
got to do that.
We're still going to. We're just not going to do it every single day, and we're not. Like I said, we're going to try, but we're still human. But again, sometimes it's overwhelming. I get frustrated with it. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, here, I just bought this expensive this, and it's supposed to help with your hair or whatever. And then, but then there's something in it that, destroys the root of your hair. I'm like, oh, God, here we go. You know what I mean? I'm like, I thought that was great, and now it's not. And it's like, it's tough. You know what I mean? It's tough. So.
Big motherfuckers, Agent Orange, and he's laughing. Georgie said, buy a microscope, look at everything you eat 400 times magnified.
Yeah, I've seen those people do that, and I've seen them do that, like off a potato chip or something, and I'm just like, ew. Well, I'm eating the potato chip, you know.
He said a lot of things you think are healthy are not.
Yeah, no.
Bananas are disgusting, packed with snake-like parasites.
But you know how you can get rid of parasites? You can drink baking soda with water and make your own alkaline water and all that stuff. So
yeah, make your body alkaline plus or whatever that's called, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to show you something that's gonna be too hard to see, or maybe it was this one. No, yeah. So look at this, babe.
Oh, the ramen? Yeah, I've seen it. The ramen's disgusting.
My mom sent me a video, and they're looking at ramen noodles under a microscope, and it's full of like these mites, some kind of like little mites or bugs or some shit. It looks crazy. I was just thinking about that when he said that about looking at the things under the microscope. Está loco. King Naga says, she a good talker, LOL. Saludos. What's up, King Naga? Oh, my girl? Yeah, she's a good talker.
I can talk.
She could talk. She has her opinions. She gets down. Honestly, her and I have got good debates. Like, I actually like debating with her. And we don't really get mad at each other because we don't agree on stuff. Like
a lot of things. To be honest, we did not have the same lifestyle. We did not have the same upbringing. Mm-hmm. When they say that opposites attract, I mean, really, opposites attract.
There's some things we do agree on, obviously, but a lot of things, man, we really don't. But I like that. I used to debate with my son. Me and my son will go hard for hours.
Oh.
But I like doing that because I think I always liked doing it when he was younger because I felt it stimulated his mind too, made him think and stuff. But the little fucker thought he knew everything too.
He did get you a couple times. He did. Don't lie. He did. He got you with the milk. He got you with the gas something when he was like 14. Like, yeah, he got you on a lot of stuff. So just saying.
Órale, pues, we've been here 3 hours, man. 2 hours and
Oh
44
my
minutes.
God.
Long round.
You gotta
Yeah,
go.
we got to get the hell out
Quite
of here.
tired of you.
What the hell?
Are you good?
You did that.
I didn't do that.
All right, we're out of here. We appreciate everybody. Thank you so much for being here tonight. We will be back another day. Maybe tomorrow, maybe not. No, serio. We appreciate you guys, man. King Naga said good night. Good night, brother. No, honestly, thanks guys for everybody for that was here, everybody that dropped in for a little bit. Thanks for the conversation. We appreciate you guys. Anybody that is just coming in, doesn't know what we do, doesn't know anything about us, do me a favor and please take a few minutes and go to phase2oflife.org. It's PHASE 2 of life, the letters TWO, phase 2 of life. And check out our nonprofit. We're trying to build it up, trying to get going. You can sign up as a mentor. You can, just anybody that wants, and if anybody wants to have a conversation about it, wants to get involved in it, reach out. Let's do this. We're trying to get this thing going. We have limited amount of time, limited amount of resources, but we need to do our best to reach these kids and just, give them the information that they need going forward. At the very least, anybody that's getting involved in that lifestyle needs to do so with all the information that I don't think a lot of us had getting involved in that. A lot of people, one of the biggest things that people will say was you knew what you were signing up for when they're talking to when they're trying to talk down to us that decided to not be a part of that life anymore. And I disagree. I don't think a lot of us really did know what we were signing up for. I know in my case, I was signing up for a family that I thought was that, carnalismo that we talked about, a brotherhood, if you want to turn it, make it in, in English, that's what I thought we were doing. And it wasn't that. It was backstabbing, it was politicking, it was killing each other. And so I just think that needs to be spread out there, and that's what we're gonna do. So you guys have a good night. Burkini said, "Hey, great discussion tonight. Appreciate it." Big motherfuckers laughing through the. Oh, Agent Orange said, "Big motherfucker, but this."
And for those of you who didn't like what I had to say tonight, I'm sorry. I'm gonna keep saying what I say.
Oh yeah, we're all gonna talk. We're all gonna debate,
and
we're
you
all
might not
adults.
like what I have to say. You might not like what he has to say. I might not like what you have to say, but guess what? That's part of adulting, and we can all disagree to agree. And
Yep.
this is, I don't share the same brain as him, so I'm not going to always agree with him, and we're going to have our different discussions.
And in the end, it takes teamwork to figure it all out. So that's what we're gonna do.
I think the best things that we can do, though, is just go out and just try to be a good human every day, be a good husband, be a good wife, be a good mother, be a good friend, a daughter, as best as you can.
Yeah.
And just I don't know. Lately, I've been turning off the news because sometimes it can drive you crazy.
Yeah.
So just focus on yourselves, be healthy, enjoy your guys' life. Thank you guys for listening to us and having us. It's always a pleasure.
Ernie, you said no prenup. I'm gonna make her sign one.
I'm thinking of one. Seriously, I'm gonna write one. I mean,
yeah,
he gets the kid this time.
I don't want the kid.
You're taking the kid.
I don't want him.
You're taking him.
Well, he can go to foster care.
No, I took him the first 13 years.
And I took him the last.
So you're gonna make him an orphan?
Yeah, he can go now. It's good.
Oh my God.
He's fine. He can figure it out. Agent Orange said, buenas noches, everyone. Jack Carmenta said, I'm at work right now, but good night, carnal. Good night, brother. Ya sabes.
You don't have anything I want anyways.
You're not going to get nothing I have anyway.
Ooh, you have a little asset calendar thing on the wall. Ooh, I don't want that. Trust
my
me,
MacBook?
You can have that. I don't have a MacBook.
Well, you can't have it anyway.
I don't want it.
So my ass that's my heritage.
Yeah, it is. You got it all over you. Look at the corn. Little elote guy. Jesus Christ.
Really? Elote guy?
What would make you put a corn on your arm?
That
Why?
that was the staple food.
Were you
What are you
on
talking?
something? Were you high? Were you? I mean, lie then. Say you were.
She doesn't understand our heritage. It's okay.
The staple. Oh, okay. Let me go get Taco Bell on my arm then. Oh, it's because I was born here and raised here. And it's a staple food of.
Shit.
Ah, my finger.
Yeah, good. That's what you get. That's what you get. Big motherfucker said.
I hurt my finger.
Rare piece 100. Manu Sueta. What's up, brother?
Oh.
You just coming in, fool? He said, Cubo carnal, saludos to you and yours. Right back at you, brother. Gracias. Georgie said, get her pregnant again.
Yeah, right.
All respect. You're both still young. Bro, I don't know, man. I'm going to be 50 already. I don't know if I could do it. I get tired, like, walking to the bathroom now.
You get a Charlie horse in the bed. Like, ah! No, I think we're okay. Our son is going to be 22. And I think if we were going to do it, we should have did it sooner. We one time thought about doing it, but it just passed us.
Yeah.
It really did. And
when I first got out, I wanted to, but Jovan did.
I didn't want to.
And she didn't want to because because of our son. She thought that he might feel some type of way about me, basically seeing me bring up this baby, like, raising this baby and, goo goo guying the baby. And he didn't get that from me because I was torcido. So she didn't want, she felt it was better for us not to, and because psychologically it might have an effect on him.
And not just that, he didn't want it either.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want you to have another baby. And he was at that age. I mean,
he was a kid.
Now
he says he wishes he did.
Now he says, but it was about him. It wasn't about us. And he just got out. I hadn't been with him out here on the street since I was 19. Mm-hmm. Fast forward 13 years later, I don't know. What if we ended up living together and hated each other and it didn't work out, and then we're stuck with a baby that's going to have two parents separated? I didn't want to go through that again either. Yeah,
I didn't want to be a single father, you know what I mean? Because I would have took the baby, obviously. But
no, I would have taken him, and I would have just finally got married, and you could have been like every other weekend, and you would have to deal with my new husband, and I just didn't want to go through all that.
You guys hear the dreams?
No, I'm just saying I didn't want to go through that. And not just that, though. I needed to make sure that my son, seriously, I needed to make sure my son was okay, that he was happy where he was at.
That was the real situation.
That was the real situation.
I hadn't been out with him ever. When I got locked up, she was a month pregnant. I think. I mean, maybe not even that long. I was in the county when we found out she was pregnant. And then I got
pregnant in October, and you got locked up in November.
Yeah. Also that month pregnant, but we didn't know. We didn't find out. I was in the county when we found out that she was pregnant. She came and told me at a visit. And then I got out again for those 13 days when she was like 8 months pregnant. So I had never held my son in the free world. And her and I had only been together for about 4.5 months total, or maybe 5 months total, our whole life, you know what I mean? Our whole time together. So there was a lot to think about. And as far as our son's mental health was concerned, we needed to kind of make sure that was.
And mine too. I didn't want you to knock me up again. And then again, it didn't work out. And then here I am with 2 kids. Like, I just didn't want.
Yeah.
It was a lot to think about. And like I said, I asked my son every day, are you happy? Are you okay? Because it's about him at the moment. It was about him. But, it didn't happen. We're okay with it, though.
But thanks, Georgie.
No, but we're okay with it. He's super spoiled, and I have a lot of nieces and nephews, so it's all good.
King Naga said elote guy. I know, she's cold-blooded, bro. Cold-blooded.
How is that cold-blooded?
You call me an elote guy.
You have a freaking.
You're looking at the wrong arm.
I'm looking at it right there.
It's right here.
It's over there.
No. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking at it here.
See?
I'm looking at I'm like, it looks okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's over here. All right, pues, we're out of here. You guys have a good night. Thank you so much.
Issues for real.
What are my issues?
I'm gonna get life insurance on you because you have some problems.
Life insurance? Because I have fucking
mental
corn
problems. You got a corn.
My mental problems is marrying your fucking ass. How about
You
that?
don't have to do it. We don't have to go.
Catch me outside.
We don't have to go there. We won't. I could sleep in tomorrow.
You couldn't
I
do
could
it.
seriously just sleep in tomorrow.
You couldn't do without me.
Ah,
It's all right. I get it.
oh,
Bueno, pues, we're out of here. Sorry, guys, that you guys had to see all this extra.
it's not extra.
You guys have a good night. Thank you so much. Until the next one, buenas noches. And
Good
good night.
This tastes really good, actually.
Does it?
It does taste like
Regular,
regular one.
regular squirt.